Perk hard, like for the last 3 or 4 weeks. They keep yelling this nigga name out, and I'm like,
who? Yelling out who?
Jules Perk.
Okay.
Opera, however the fuck you want to say the cracking name, but they keep shouting his name out, and I'm like, yo, Minkara Ben shouted this man out. Ben told brothers they need to stop and look into this man and his contributions to all that bullshit. And it's like it took niggas 2.5 to 3 years, fraudulent debate and all that shit for them to finally pull this man out and introduce him to the community and shit.
And that's how it goes.
But to me, it feels like it shows that most of these brothers is pushing an agenda because it's not just putting out information, because they wouldn't be holding on to shit. It's like, what's so secretive about fucking the books that niggas got? Like, everyone's getting free PDFs and shit. You should just be sharing them shits. It shouldn't be no secret.
Man, the you know, the whole subscribe to somebody who got some free shit. Them to give you free shit through an email subscription. You know, those types of things, like the Patreon, you know, heads are really valuing their content to an extent. They, you know, have a rate going. I mean, it could be $1 or whatever, but some people's material, you know, it's almost just how a TV network would do, right? The ratings are going up high enough for you to break into a different niche, right? So let's say Patreon is that niche, so you got the opportunity to earn a more consistent income, and so then you start releasing programming, you know, new programming. You're still the same person, same fucking backdrop, same backyard scene or whatever.
I mean, you got
that you would have had on YouTube, but you saying, you know, you want $20 a month for, or you got to pay to watch the video. Now, when I was watching you on YouTube, you know, your information isn't worth $10 to me. It's more about the perspective sometimes, you know what I'm saying? More than anything. I don't pay people for fucking perspectives.
and
That's like,
I mean,
yo, I want to know what's on your mind, but I understand you got a $10 rate, yo. I can get a discount for your opinion, yo.
My question would be is, what kind of real reporting do a lot of these platforms do? I mean, you got a few that actually give you some real news about what's going on in the area, but when you look at a lot of these platforms and the areas that they're in, you got so much shit going on in their fucking neighborhood, and they're not telling you none of that shit. They're giving you the same bullshit over and over and over again. It's like, how many times do I gotta see a motherfucking Hebrew and someone who is a so-called Kemetic go back and forth about the fucking Bible and what's on the wall and shit? It's like, what is that really doing for motherfuckers?
Oh man. You think about how certain things evolve. This seems to be one thing that's it's almost trying to force its evolution. Saying I'm speaking in reference to what we were discussing earlier when you're talking about people trying to repackage their marketing approach towards the Black community by cleaning up some of the rumors or other things that might be attached to their titles and their platforms. White folks do the same thing. It's like changing Fleet Bank to Wachovia Bank and then changing that to fucking State. Oh, what's the other one with the carriage and shit? Wells Fargo. You know, you changing the name, but it's the same bank.
It's because motherfuckers don't know anything else. They don't have. So when you're not the creative mind, you have no choice but to basically stick to the one thing that made you your bread. If it was about other than bread, the creativity and the different things would come naturally. But because it's about what makes me money, you only stick to the same shit that got you your most money, hoping to get that hit again. It's like all these cookie cutter fucking rappers and shit. One nigga made a hit, everyone tries to follow the format until someone comes with that next format that hits. Then all these motherfuckers gonna jump to that shit. But none of these niggas got no real creativity in them. So they stuck waiting for the next motherfucker to come with that new shit.
Yeah, you speaking of that, right? I you know that whip the Nene song. Now, the song was like one of the top played and viewed songs ever, right? So I researched it and found out that Madonna helped write the song and design the concept for how the effect of the song was going to be on the public. So when it was released, they already knew what it was going to do. She's a part of like a company. I'm not sure if she started it herself, but it's a conglomerate of like artists who are a little older. And what they're doing is they're writing songs and then artists on with the music that they want them to say. So it's beyond just ghostwriting. Like the whole artistic identity is manufactured. And so the artist plays it off good. I'm saying I listened to the young dude talk about the song and shit because he's in South Carolina this weekend performing, right? So he's talking like he wrote the song and yeah, man, you know. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yo, I done researched and found out, nigga, Madonna wrote that shit. You know what I'm saying? So she writing hip hop songs and shit for the up and coming artists that are gonna appeal to the general population. So the target usually, from what I read, the targets is based specifically on impact. So they want to impact you emotionally, something that's going to transcend race and sexuality and things like that. So music with no barriers. And you listen to how stupid that damn song is, but everybody sings a fucking song. You know what I mean?
But that shit, I don't even consider that shit hip hop. Like that's
Nah,
no
it definitely isn't.
music. You know what I'm saying? They had to change the whole demographic of the music so they can do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
If it was still at its roots raw like it's supposed to be, they couldn't be. Madonna couldn't be able to write no shit for them niggas who grew up in our era. Listen to the shit we listen to. She can't write no
Nah,
shit for us. You know what I mean? No matter how hard she tried, that her shit ain't gonna pop. We gonna look at that shit. This is some bullshit.
mm-hmm. But that's deep too when you think about it. A person like her whose career is over practically is revitalized through black artists, like getting a damn young black person's organs put in an old person to keep them alive longer. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I see it. It's kind of like
The wealth created and the marketing and all that, all those types of things related to just one single alone. You know what I'm saying?
it's kind of like a new way of sampling.
Yeah.
Because being that there's no real lyrics to the song, it's just the little hook loop, really.
Yeah. Like, I could imagine to be like, hey, why don't we make a song called Whip the Nene? And we'll get a little 16-year-old kid to do it. Aspiring rapper. We'll do it like the American Idol fucking thing, and we'll pick them out. That's what the fuck they did. You know.
It's crazy. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, man. But and it's we've been having Brother Griff was talking earlier on everything, you know.
Yeah, just be going in, man.
He goes the hell in, man. He goes all the way in, you know. But he was just talking about the fog of war.
I'm usually. What you saying?
Go ahead. No, I said we was talking about the fog of war, you know. I will wait a little bit to go in on that in case some more heads get up on the line. But about our situation, right, as a people and the various camps or groups that people align themselves with, it's very clear to see who's for what and who's not and know where you stand. Like so many things are real clear right now. You have a lot of people who have been exposed for certain things and none of those things have been addressed at all whatsoever. The only thing that I've ever seen be addressed is just this suspicion, you know, or people saying it's wrong, or but there's no real action to be taken on some of the things that people are saying have occurred to them. Fog of war, you know, let's say the position of a liberating person, right? Or to be in a liberating position, you know, you're already free from any scandal or manipulation or even slander of other people. You know, you're free from a lot of those types of things. So you get to sit in a different, from a different perspective and watch it happen sometimes. And when you think about a world war scenario, this is kind of like that, but it's all within the same community. You know, and I think it happens across cultures. Like, you know, right now on an international level, Europeans are all opposed to a lot of different things. They're not aligned. And so the fog of war, as far as internal fighting, is a high risk.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we look at what we're talking about, like on a weekly, so many different things or new popping up, and it will cause a person who's new to some information to go crazy almost. You know what I mean? Like freeze. You know what I'm saying? Like having some insight or involvement in certain things already, it does afford one the opportunity to kind of you know, walk softly, be quiet, and operate like a ninja, you know.
I think
With other people jumping right in, you know. My brother, he talks to a sister and she had text messaged them about like, oh, you know, like sign in or TVD going in or something. Oops, I said it on live. But it's crazy that people's attention, like we were saying before, that there's a standard being set, and so they're defined as the standard for what the conscious community looks like and it represents. And so who's like 800 miles away text somebody that, you know, they're very much interested or entrenched in the information, or I'll say the soap opera or certain things. Then you look at what we try to represent and promote, and you find that you don't really want to have a conflict with a person's right to view or take in any information that they have a right to do, but you do want to find a time and space to share your perspective so they have an alternative to that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, make sure you give her the web link, the talk shoe link, you know, YouTube link, you know, because we got bigger battles than just these small things you see people bickering about. You know what I'm saying? Now some things can definitely blow up into something greater, but I think people are so scattered that that's not a major concern. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of things we've seen on YouTube get dealt with by people talking shit. Like talking shit is the number one way of resolving a problem, you know.
I think it presents a certain amount of cognitive distance for people because it gives them an excuse to just play the background. Like they watch that, they watch these channels, they get some information, they get the drama that they're looking for. So on one hand, they could say, "Oh, I don't watch TV, I don't do this, I do that, I just be on YouTube." But in a sense, you get in the same type of programming because you're following a soap opera. You're not really getting active in your community, and your excuse when you're pressed upon that is, "Oh, well, look what these people are doing. Look what they're doing. All they're doing is arguing, bickering, blah blah blah." But that's really what you want to see, what you're really into, because you really don't want to get out there and do nothing and put in no real work.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, people say that they're giving the people what they want, but when you know that we are mentally damaged people, we are in some aspect are very lost people, not knowing who, what, and where, how we came from, and what way to do to get us out of this situation. Giving the people what they want is not helping the people. They want all the nonsense that they've been getting and been feeding in all these years that they've been here. So how are you just going to give the people what they so-called want and say that you're edifying the people? Black Power, brother Griff.
So Black Power, brother Griff,
AAEP family, what it do?
AAP.
AEP.
What y'all over there building on?
We was building on that the fog of war, and Brother Core's been on his perspective how some of these channels kind of feeds in to it.
To that concept.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I was just briefly touching on how, I think these channels present a level of cognitive distance for the people because they can use these channels as their excuse not to get active. At the same time, the channels are saying they're giving the people what they want, but being that the people are stagnant and lost, you keep them stagnant and lost by giving them what they want, which is basically a bunch of nonsense.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, you know what I'm
You're right.
saying?
You giving them the new age BET.
Well, you know
You
what
know,
I'm saying?
some network.
The joint is like the motherfucking media is a weapon, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the you know what I'm saying, is the propaganda aspect for one to kick a you know what I'm saying? You kick a narrative about your opposition, which causes your opposition to devalidate the opposition. And then on the other hand, like now, like you saying, brother Dondre, the other aspect of media now is to distraction. Niggas is caught up looking for the next, oh, who's gonna get back at so and so, and oh man, I was watching this shit, even that Unc's crap pipe, all that shit is a distraction because them niggas ain't even relevant. Who the fuck is Unc really? Not to disrespect the brother, but are these brothers really relevant to, you know what I'm saying, the liberation of the group as a whole? These motherfuckers really not even relevant. We making them relevant by giving our attention to these different little entities, man, whether it be male, female, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Now, the ones that's bringing oppressing us, you know what I'm saying? I can relate to that type of information, but just, nigga, I know Kemet, this, that, like for real, that's not really relevant at this current juncture. You know what I'm saying? We in the trench, like the war is so heavy. That shit really is neither here nor there at this point. You know what I'm saying? Unless, you know what I'm saying, that information,
I will say this though.
you know what I'm saying, holistically, you know what I'm saying? Other than
I will,
that, it's just kind of bad.
I'll say this though. The brother that you mentioned, agree or disagree with some of his information, I gotta give someone their props when they do something that's real. And these brothers been holding free seminars on the weekends out here, free for the people just come, you know what I'm saying, all that. And it's on that STEM shit, you know, science, technology, and all that. And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not charging the people, you're going in any library that will hold you. You know what I'm saying? You telling the people to come out, get this information, blah, blah, blah. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta give credit to that, because when you're doing shit for free, you really doing it for the people. You're not asking nobody for nothing, because it's really for the people. You know what I'm saying? I can't say the same for all these other people. So on that aspect, I give them brothers credit for doing that.
But you basically backing up what I just said. I said for the other brothers and sisters that's doing that shit, bringing the information and the knowledge in a way which it can add on to advancing the liberation. I'm down with that. And to back you one more again, this shit's not for no bread, bro. You don't need to be getting money. You're not gonna get paid off of this shit. This shit comes from the gut. Just knowing that your people need specific necessities to get from one level to the next, bro. You don't charge niggas for this type of shit. Now you can ask for donations. This is my perspective. Ask for donations. Whatever y'all can do is cool. I'm bringing this shit because the real nigga know. First of all, your resources is not supposed to come from giving information to your people. That's because you know that's a short-lived way of obtaining resources. Because you know your people only got but so much. Plus, their mind ain't right, so they might not even support you on the front end until you get to a position where their development has increased and they understand the benefit. By helping you, I'm helping myself. But right now, you know what I'm saying, personally, I feel like we at a level of development where we learning just how to build, first of all, with self, then with each other. So right now, if a motherfucker like, yeah, I'm coming out, you know what I mean? It's going to be 40 at the door, all of that. See, that's why they got to throw the bullshit in there. Because if they kept it real raw and real serious, motherfuckers wouldn't even come out. Because this is how real the shit is. It's so real that unless you seriously committed to doing this shit, you're not going to even want to really hear that real raw truth. Because that shit just going to let you know you all the way off your square. And the fuckery that you into got to stop. And a lot of motherfuckers ain't ready to hear that shit. So when you come in with that real raw shit, you're going to get shut down. Unless you creating some type of little bread and circus with it, where you got the people feeling like, oh man, he said this to some, she said that. They was about to get at it, B. It was crazy. It was like, all right, bro. Now where that fit into the liberation, I don't know. Plus, like I said, the master teachers has already done laid the blueprint. Garvey done laid the blueprint. Dr. Ben got it laid. Dr. Clark got it laid. You know what I'm saying? Amos Wilson got it laid out. So really, these niggas is really null and void to a certain degree. All they should really be doing is be like, listen, here's where I got my information from. I'm gonna refer you to such and such, such and such. You know, the way I interpreted the information and how I applied to my life is like A, B, and C. That's all that really should be coming out of cat's mouth, man, from my perspective. All of this, nigga, I'm the master. Nigga, I'm nobody did this shit like me. I do this shit like nobody, nigga. Ain't nobody fuck with me on this thing. Where we going with that, man? Because the information speaks for itself. It stands alone. Whether somebody agree with you, yeah, whether a motherfucker be like, yo, that nigga he know his shit. Okay, nigga, this shit is the truth. The information is the information. It don't matter who brought it, who he brought it up against. All you supposed to be doing is trying to get the jewels and fuck all that bread circus. Fuck these niggas, those clicks, all that shit. Them dudes not important. It's the message. Get the motherfucking substantive material, break it down, digest it, and apply it, and try to get the desired result. If that shit don't work, get back on the grind, get the knowledge again, try the new formula. Keep adding and building, man. Because the way that niggas is doing it, all it's doing is creating disunity. And then at the end of the day, niggas like, why niggas keep on battling, going, cussing each other out? Because the way y'all bringing the information is creating disunity. And maybe that was the whole design for the way that they putting it forth on these platforms. Because for real,
it started with one against the other.
You feel me? And the thing is this, nigga, at the end of the day, the motherfucker can just push the button, shut the whole shit down, nigga. So really, niggas need to be utilizing this shit at a serious pace in a serious way, because you never know when the day you're gonna go to turn your shit on and this shit don't power up. Because we ain't really running shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get to that point. So we need to be real serious with this time and these mediums we have, man. Garvey got shit popping, nigga, with nothing but printing press, getting shit popping globally. And that right there tells you this is the fuckery. Garvey gets this shit popping on a global scale with printing press. Niggas got internet. We can touch everybody around the world at the push of a button, and we can't get shit popping collectively.
Brother's too busy debating the wrong shit.
I was gonna say I think that's a conscious choice not to. I don't think it's ignorance. I think it's a conscious choice to ignore the benefits of technology, like you're stating, and choose to do the opposite of what benefit it could have to the people as far as liberation is concerned.
Well, when you really no question, I feel you to some degree you on point. But then when you peep this shit out, it's even like when you take these niggas, like niggas is trying to take the enemy's tool and use it against the enemy. Dude, this motherfucker created this shit. So this economic boot camp shit, we gonna get the money and build Rosewood and all that. You see how they playing? They're not playing. All of that shit is the control mechanism. So once you buy in, nigga, I'm running this shit. I got you locked into my system. So when you go back and feed that shit to the masses of your crew, to the masses of your group, nigga, you setting your group up. Because the thing is,
I was gonna say that's a carrot. That's a motherfucking Trojan horse.
No doubt. I think some of these motherfuckers genuinely believe, like, nigga, the power in the dollar, all that shit. I think some of these motherfuckers really feel like, because you got to think too. Some of these motherfuckers is coming out of different eras and shit, man. So they getting access to shit that they ain't have like 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. You dig? So some of these niggas like you know, some of the older people, they really thought Obama getting so-called elected was like that was a major fucking move. Because they already been programmed with the trick bag back in the 60s, the 50s, and the 40s, and the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So they like, oh my God, you know, like, hold up, man. You really think this shit's real? So some of these motherfuckers genuinely believe in it, that you can, and getting black business started, there is a piece for that. You know what I'm saying? Within the current construct, we do need grocery stores. You know, we do need institutions to be able to build, you know, some type of foundation to push us forward. But how much time, energy, resources do you put into it, knowing that at any moment the enemy could come lay your shit down?
Yeah, I was gonna say, knowing that the larger you get, the option is to integrate into it or create a system that you can run your shit self-contained. And most people, even when you look at the boot camp shit, like it's promoting economic integration at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
100. And then the nigga keep talking about, I'm gonna show you how to invest. I'm gonna show you how you gonna show me how to invest in a stock market that's fucking sinking like the Titanic. You know what I mean?
That's what gets me a lot. None of these so-called economic guru motherfuckers are saying anything about the impending economic collapse. They're not talking about none of these banks closing down, none of the shit that's popping off with the EU and all that, but they keep telling you to invest. Like this shit is some never-ending gold fucking fountain or some shit. Like every economist is saying that there is a pending collapse coming. You cannot hide it. There's no way around it. We've been having a zero interest rate for the longest. We cannot continue with a zero interest rate. And once they raise the interest rate, the fucking the tower of cards is going to fall. Not one of these economic so-called gurus is talking that shit. They're not letting none of the people know any of this shit. So what the fuck are you really doing? What are you really putting the people on with? Are you teaching
There
them
you
how to
have it.
protect the so-called money that they're going to make? Who was telling the people how to protect themselves from this impending collapse?
You saying it right there, brother. So who is these people really connected with? What is their real agenda? Who the fuck is Boyce Watkins really rocking with? Somebody told me you used to work for Fox and shit. So this nigga done been around. He's been in the system, entrenched in the system. So he know the game. So he know exactly what he's saying, what he's doing. I wouldn't believe for one moment that he's like, oh, I didn't understand. I thought we could, nigga, you know what it is, bro. So who are you really? What's your real agenda? What's your intentions, man? You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, what are all these dudes saying? Because I mean, if you look at the patterns, every 8 years when they had this presidential change, you had a fucking bubble burst. It happened when Clinton took over, when Bush came in, the bubble burst. When Obama came in, that bubble burst. You had the web bubble under Clinton. You had the housing bubble under Bush. Now you got Obama with his whole derivative scam and all that shit, which is about to burst. How come none of these motherfuckers are following the pattern and telling the people, okay, you should do this to protect yourself in case this happens and that happens? They keep telling you to pour your money more, put more and more money into this fucking system.
No doubt. And the thing is, too, black power to you, Sister Makia.
Yeah, Black Power
Somebody
says.
gets paid.
Black Power says,
Black power to bro Tim, if you're over there too.
No, he ain't
Some
listening right now.
what you say, sis?
I said he not listening right now. He be here in a second.
Okay, that's what's up.
All right.
What's up? Somebody getting paid when that shit tank out like that. Everybody's not losing money. The motherfuckers who already the big wigs, the motherfuckers who the billionaires, millionaires, the wealthy elites is getting paid when the market go down. So people sometimes Boyce might have his money with the big boys, his little change over there with the big boys. Like, yeah, do it, get it in, go. We can get rich, we can make money, we can do black economics. And he might be betting on niggas to sink. You know what I'm saying? So niggas gotta be aware. If first, and that's what I'm saying, if Boyce Watkins was doing this shit so sweet and you so slick with the economics, my dog, why are you charging your peoples all this money for these seminars and these meet and greets and shit? That shit should be on the house because you should be already nice with it. Your pocket should be thick, family should be good because you mastered it. You the slick nigga, you the economic captain general and shit. So what is the problem? Why are you charging all this money for these little seminars and all that shit? Let your people eat if you really doing it.
have you been to his website and peeped some of the prices this nigga charges?
Some of them lifetime charges.
Yo.
Right?
That nigga said you could get down with me for the direction and shit. For the right number.
Yo, the prices are ridiculous, man.
Hey, man. Hey, you can really get paid, man. It's a way to really take care of your family for generations to come. What you want me to tell you? Get down with the get down.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Like I want to do people take the time to look into things like that? Because if you just financial guru, I would expect that your whole family to be pretty much set because you work in a finance. I mean, if you ain't doing it for your family, why should I think that you're gonna do it for some strangers? So your whole family should be straight. I mean, your children should be invested up. If you got children, your moms, pops, aunts, uncles, everybody should be straight.
And why you ain't go ahead and give Umar, you know what I'm saying, the millions for his school and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Well, he
You
said he
work when a
tried
nigga,
to talk to Umar and he donated to Umar, but Umar had his own thing going.
no doubt. And I don't want to give them niggas no real shine, because they ain't, to me, they ain't really worth no shine, but it's just like, if the shit was popping, bro, you know what I'm saying? The proof is in the pudding, man. At the end of the day, really not bring, they selling you a dream. It's almost like religion and shit. If you believe, and every time something happen, you give credit to some imaginary entity, when really you ain't even using your critical thought to analyze what's going down. So Boyce already knows our people is strapped for resources. Most of the people in the fucking so-called conscious community, they know the position our peoples are in. So they selling them dreams and hope, man, without actually giving them that raw, real shit. Like, look, y'all niggas gotta quit fucking drinking, smoking, fucking your motherfucking time off, beating off, jacking off, fucking every 10. Y'all niggas got to get cleaned up. See what I'm saying? That's too much. Niggas is out the door. You start talking like that, you're gonna have real motherfuckers who stay after you come with that plan. That's who your core cats are. But other cats, they're gonna be like, look, man, shit, man, look, I'm out, big. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this, I got that. But see, the truth is, when you're ready for liberation, dude, it's certain things that you do, you discipline, you sharpen up, man. You get shit right. You gotta cut the gristle out. But that's when shit gets serious, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't pointing no particular fingers, because me, myself, I'm still sharpening my sword every day. Because now, just trying to stay focused and stay, you know, functional in this crazy ass motherfucking piece of shit ass cesspool, these fucking crackers they created, man, that's a job in and of itself. Just trying to stay focused, take care of your everyday shit. That right there is a 24/7, 365 job right there, man. Especially baby. If you got babies and you want your baby be halfway coherent shit, that's a full-time job. So it's hard to even branch from that. But really, it's all a part of one. But just go from just maintaining to start actually advancing on some type of liberation agenda. You know what I'm saying? That's another whole nother mission. So we really, you know what I mean? It's imperative that we just take small steps, you know what I'm saying? But like my first little approach would be just trying to unify with like minds, like spirits, man. That shit is imperative, because you got to be around motherfuckers you can trust, bro. If I can't really trust you, we don't really got nothing, man. You ain't got to be on point all the fucking time, but there's got to just be a certain level of trust that I know if some shit really went down, I know you would rock out. You know what I'm saying? And that's small shit, right? Huh?
That goes partially back to the point I was making, when niggas is focused on the wrong shit. Because they spending all this time attacking people for a belief, when what's on niggas' heads right now, you can worry about that shit later, man. We gotta, I mean, niggas can't even fucking go to the supermarket and eat with all the fuckery that they got with the food and shit. And niggas is worrying about who fucking niggas is praying to and shit. Who gives a fuck? Let's get something for us to fucking survive this motherfucker first. You got fucking niggas is crying about all the programs and shit Trump is cutting and all that. But who's really putting something in place to combat this shit? They just spending all their time arguing about irrelevant shit. I mean, you said niggas is saying, okay, the Hebrews supposedly got farms and all that shit. So we need to be fucking with these niggas because they got fucking crops and shit that niggas is gonna need. Niggas know the NOI is all trained up and all that. You know what I'm saying? We need to get some of this training and all that so we can protect our shit. Worry about all the other dumb shit later. That's how Garvey built his shit up. He wasn't beefing about, he wasn't worried about all that shit. Those who want to be liberated, who's ready to put in this work, come down and let's make it happen. And that's all we need to be focused on. Building up what we need to combat the shit that's on our head and having means to protect it.
No doubt.
Period.
The thing is this, brother Dondre, on one aspect you on point, but then in another aspects, niggas' religious doctrines sometimes have conflicting interests with actual liberation. And I'll give you an example, like with the shit with the Haitian Revolution, you know what I'm saying? After they fucked around with the French ass and shit, you know what I'm saying? Dessalines, like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? We holding it down. But your boy, Toussaint, still has some of that cracker, that Christian blood on his Christian shit in him. And this nigga not understanding the seriousness of the conflict that you in. So then you thinking you can do one or two other things, but you might be compromising the team. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to engage and cross those boundaries when you a thorough soldier, you understand, like, man, I already know how these niggas is thinking. So it's like, how far do I, if I fuck with them, how far do I go, and how do I know it won't have a spillover on me? You know what I'm saying? So it'd be difficult trying to cross them lines, because basically, if I know a nigga rocking on some shit it's like niggas like okay, the fags say the LBGT might have some shit that could be useful. Do I fuck around and politic with these niggas knowing that they motherfucking agenda is just anti-life and shit? Do I still
you
y'all
gotta
trying to get
listen too.
liberated? Hold on though.
You gotta
If y'all trying to get
listen
liberated,
too.
y'all about that. Them niggas can grow food and shit. Do I fuck with them on that? Or do I be like, man, fuck, I ain't even about to even play that little game with these motherfuckers? And so it's the same. I feel what you said.
Fucking with somebody doesn't necessarily mean that you all in with them. If you notice, I didn't say join up with the NOI. I said get some training from them. So you can do our own thing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say we need to link join with the Hebrews, but if they got farms, we know these niggas ain't fucking with the crackers. You know what I'm saying? And they got farms. So them shits ain't gonna be GMO'd up and all that. So we can get some food from them niggas. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't need to argue and worry about, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you praying to Jesus, nigga. I just want them fucking non-GMO good crop shot niggas got popping over there so I can feed my peoples some good shit. I need to know how to fuck these niggas up. If they come on my shit, y'all niggas got a history of fucking the police up. Well, shit, I need some of that. So when they come on my shit, my people know how to fuck the police up. That's what I'm saying. All that other shit, y'all can stay over there with that shit. They can stay over there with that shit. But we can't be alienating each other to the point where we ain't willing to deal with each other for the resources that we need. And that's what niggas is doing right now. They alienating each other to a point where niggas don't want to fuck with each other at all. And that's going to be to our detriment.
Well, the thing is this too, though, bro. You got to understand, when this shit really get greasy, man, you know what I mean? The system applies pressure to different flanks. So if they, first of all, they're gonna try to cut your sources off, nigga. That's gonna be motherfucking food, water. If they gonna bleed a nigga out, nigga, that's what they do, my nigga. So this ain't about to be no, oh, if we don't talk to these people, if we do this, do that. Like, nah, you got to get ready to be able to pretty much live off the land, man. And then beyond that, nigga, it's like, nigga, you see 24-hour sleeping shifts and all this shit, man. I mean, the shit gets gully, man. Niggas is getting captured, babies is getting killed. Like, this shit is just so far from really a nigga overstanding. It's real easy to talk about it, but to start actually putting in play, actually dealing with the reality of having to kind of just, your life is no longer really nigga, you be looking forward to going into battle getting took out, because the shit just so raw. You like, nigga, I'm ready to just put on the line. I want to just live like this for fucking 5 years, 10 years, you know, however long it might take. Could be shorter, could be longer. All I'm saying is basically, like, nigga, you just live in a fucking grimy ass. It's grimy. It's like when Malcolm said, nigga, if niggas really knew what revolution was, niggas wouldn't even use that word, man. You wouldn't even speak that word, nigga. It's bloody. It's a dog ass little move. So, you know what I'm saying? You gonna find out who down and who ain't. And motherfuckers who talking all that, I'm, you know, Hebrew this and that. When the shit really get popping, is really who you gonna find out who's who and what's what. You see what I'm saying? Nigga. So you will know who's who when the shit gonna come out in the rinse.
All that shit is gonna be thrown out the window when shit hit the fan, because niggas ain't asking what you believe in. They just fucking knocking niggas over the head. So all that shit is gonna be thrown out the window.
Okay. So the shit gonna get slick. You know what I'm saying? Right now, like, I agree, we do need to unify with like-minded individuals, like-spirited individuals. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So I mean, you know, if a motherfucker real, he real. Now, like you said, his religious doctrine don't necessarily disqualify him from being a real, him or her from being, you know, serious individuals, real thorough individuals. You know what I'm saying? Because like you got Malcolm, niggas could clown Malcolm for being, you know, I actually think his religious affiliation was to his demise. You know what I'm saying? I think at some point That shit was his backbone as far as having that support and those resources. But then at the end of the day, the group was compromised. So once it got down to the real nitty gritty, he was fucking with niggas who really wasn't about that work. And it cost him, you know what I'm saying? It cost him. And the same thing with Dr. Khaled, you know what I'm saying? Shit cost him. You know what I mean? Because
you're right. I was gonna say you got people who have, you know, you got males and females, integrity, character, you know, and that's like the thing that goes through time, right? Excuse me. So just saying that, looking for that now, in this day and age, you say 2017, and some of the things you mentioned about the threats and everyday risk and experience, you know, it's kind of like it's pretty much a war-like environment for the most part. It's, you know, what like the Cold War is, where there's not any necessary, not any bombs dropping, but everybody's on high alert for any type of destabilizing event or compromising of their resources or just quality of life, even if it's already a low level of quality of life, you know. So I was going to comment also related to the aligning or working with others. I think it's good when you're able to, you know, collaborating with people who can put their beliefs aside, or you know, some of their personal reservations aside in order to get something accomplished. Usually you can get a lot accomplished and that out about a person, because usually after in my experience is when I've done some collaborative work with a specific belief system, after you do the work, then they want you to align with the belief to some extent to continue doing work, and that usually is the deciding factor on no longer collaborating. And that's not saying that a person might have been not genuine in getting the work done. It's just I think it's just they're limited. And I think we got to be realistic as far as the limitations people got. And that's just the reality of it. I don't think it's necessary to go into every diverse, you know, go to every Black person who has a diverse experience or effect by, you know, white supremacy. Some people's effects might be more detrimental than others, you know, like you said, Brother Griff. So I think through trial and error, we find out a lot about, you know, the risk in people and trying to do good work and positive and having a positive effect on our people. That, you know, that trial and error is one thing, man. But I find this too. I'd rather go through trial and error with our people, the European, and not have the possibility of anything being left to work with moving forward. Not saying your own won't get you, but it's just a different type of direct enemy. You know, when we were speaking on a fog of war in the hangout earlier, like the context I was speaking in reference to had to do with just that. You know, we might have, you know, 50 variations of enemies. You think about the Matrix, where, you know, the person carrying the groceries on the sidewalk could very well be an agent on any given day type of situation. So that's the reality we're dealing with. That's another reason why we have a high level of anxiety and so many different things to kind of level ourselves out to keep from looking like we're out of our minds and shit. You know. But so
would it take full unification to utilize resources that some of our people of these different belief systems may have?
that again.
Do we actually have to unify with our people who have these different belief systems to utilize some of the resources that they have.
Like I said, I think it's situational. I'll tell you what, it's easier to work with individuals and whole groups. You know what I'm saying?
That's the
For me personally, I find it's easier for me to work with, and it's easier for me to work with let's say than the whole damn mosque. You know what I'm saying? Or one person from a church congregation who has a different insight or awareness than to try to work with the whole congregation.
I think that's because as an individual, they're not as beholden to the so-called tenants as they would when they're within their own community. They're more
you end up finding out.
The rules, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The real truth be this though. A lot of the people in them organizations don't even fucking buy into the goddamn dogma of the goddamn religion or group. They just want some protection. Nigga just want to have something like, oh shit, niggas run up on me, nigga. Just like when you in jail, nigga, you get with a crew because you're by yourself, you easy pickings. So you get in with shit.
Yo, and
a lot of them motherfuckers don't believe it. Go ahead.
Right, that's a physical security aspect of it for a lot of people, and then you got the emotional security that goes with it. There's a lot of our people are broken in general, outside or in the church, or religious institution in general, and so acts as a blanket, of security emotionally for them and spiritually. And so it's kind of like the safe haven as it's a human safe haven. You know what I'm saying? Even when they're violated in that same space.
You feel me? But again, that has been the downfall of a lot of our so-called, some of our best. You know what I'm saying? Even with Garvey, man, all these cats, they know I would think they intelligent men, plus they was warriors. So Garvey knew he had snitches in his movement and shit. I don't think he knew to the degree the government was actually fucking out to get him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm knew what was going on. He knew what it was. But see, and those are the real aspects of actually fighting for your liberation. Like, you prepared to put your life on the line for that shit. You know that day is coming, especially when you get so far. You ain't got you already overstand. They knew it. In the beginning, it might have been less likely, but once you build that, you build that energy up and people start gravitating to your message, and you get like so much, you know what I'm saying, receptive energy from what you bringing forth, man, you become a threat. And it's a given, you know what I'm saying? It's a given. It's a time come. Like it's like you know what I mean? It's a good day to die, but you got to have that. That's part of the game. Like, part of the distraction for a lot of our peoples, man. A lot of us, from my perspective, is like, niggas is so comfortable. They scared to like lose this flesh. Like, this flesh really means something. This is why motherfuckers is going to the extreme to, surgically try to enhance their physical appearance and shit. Like, motherfuckers ain't happy with what they got. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been taught that these bodies like have some significance. And it's cool to be healthy, to keep yourself and whatnot. At the same time, though, you have to understand, like, nigga, if somebody tries to do something to my son or my daughter or my mother or my sister, nigga, I'm going to kill. Either you're going to have to kill me or I'm going to kill you. That's something that needs to be, those are things that have to be taught when you live in this life, that there's certain things that you're supposed to be sacrificing this life for as well. You don't just live and then, you know what I'm saying? And things, cultural things that you need to be sacrificing for, not like money, or like I'm at the court today, bro. Like, man, y'all found me again. I'm gonna air this bitch out. This nigga, I'm gonna air it out. Y'all don't know me. I know, dude. He all right, dude. I'm like, bro. I'm like, man, relax, man. I'm like, bro, air one of these motherfucking cracker ass cops out when they come out here, man. That's what I want to see you do, man. Cats start laughing and shit. Oh man, he's like, I do that too. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, nigga, I know you. If you about that shit, I'm just saying it's easy to. You already know if you shoot one of your own out here, nigga, you might do 3-4 years or whatever, nigga. So you all prepared for that. But you know what I'm saying? He was like, by the time police get here, I'll be gone anyway. I'm like, yeah, don't run though. I'm like, don't go nowhere. Be here when they be here. Air them motherfuckers out, bro. That's when I'm gonna pay homage, nigga. You a thorough ass, you a real thug nigga. When you do that for me, I'm not worried about you shooting the brother or sister out here, nigga. That's not impressive. We niggas been doing that. I want to see niggas start laying down the system, niggas that work, niggas who really oppressing you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, that's what it is, man. And as far as on the unification tip, brother Dondre, like unity, man, these are words and phrases, you know what I'm saying, as far as just to describe, try to give some descriptive nature to phenomenon and interaction, man. So I understand where you coming from. Like if a motherfucker got something that I can utilize, I'll fuck with some crackers to get some shit done, in the sense of if that shit's going to help me get, you know, accomplish a goal that I need to get done for my group. You know what I'm saying? If they got something I need, nigga, we'll sell you some shit. We'll buy some of your, if that's some shit we need, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, that's as far as it's gonna go. But so far too often, sometimes the things go further than they should be, or then other people in your group developing relationships and whatnot. So, you know, it has to be a real fine line drawn. You know what I mean? It got to be a fine line drawn as far as what it is I need, and how, you know what I mean, how long I'm gonna fuck with you, and I'm gonna fuck with you based on this or that. Because there's certain things sometimes, even if you needed it, you might have to let that shit go because the moral correctness is not there. So even if you might have needed some shit, you might have to find another route. This is my perspective, because these motherfuckers is just not people that I fuck with. So I'm gonna have to find another way to get those get those particular elements. I'm not gonna fuck with these cats, man, because it's against my moral code, and that builds character. It might be some shit that you end up learning or being able to achieve on another plateau. But had you not kept your moral ground, you would have never knew it was another way to do it. So a lot of motherfuckers just like, man, I need it. Fuck it. We're gonna do what we gotta get this done. Like, man, hold up. That goes against the codes of conduct. We're not doing it, bro. Fuck all that. Yeah, we need it now. We're gonna have to figure out another way, man, because that's going against the motherfucking code.
Let me ask this: do you do business with someone that you don't particularly care for their moral code? I ain't talking about no fucking off the wall shit, like no fucking pedophile or no fucking, no crazy shit, but just someone you don't really fuck with their moral code like that, or do you fuck with the enemy? Like, which one weighs up? If it's for something that you need, you know what I'm saying, you need to get this in order to maintain your shit. Do you go to the enemy, or do you go to someone who you really don't fuck with their moral code, but at least they ain't the fucking enemy?
That's a good question.
I don't know which one. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I mean? I don't know where brothers will fall on that. I mean, I would think I would rather fuck with, you know what I'm saying, my own, even though I really don't fuck with his moral code. At least it ain't on no, like, it ain't no crazy shit. Like, I ain't fuck with no pedophiles or no, you know what I'm saying, no straight flamers, no shit like that. But if it's between that or my enemy, you know what I'm saying, I know the enemy is gonna take whatever he may get from the deal and use it to my detriment. The fuck boy is just gonna take whatever and go fuck it over. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Which one is more detriment to me and my cause?
I would say I might have to measure interaction, with the moral side of things, dealing with a person on that end. I might have to already be prepared to take a loss of some level. Same way as with the cracker, but then you got that added aspect of his attachment. get attached to you just by involvement with any type of business interaction, or when it comes to getting certain resources. They have what is that shit called when someone's the sociopath? Yeah, so like you got to deal with the sociopathic part of dealing with Europeans. And so again, like I often say, if it came down to warfare, a crackhead as my first soldier, right off the block before I go to college and look for somebody with a black person with a PhD in fucking U.S. history. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a double moral. That's a double moral. What's the name?
That's a touchy one right there, because I mean, what just popped in my head is kind of like that crackhead is easily compromised because they're dependent.
Okay. I was gonna say, but it depends on the kind. It depends on the kind. Is it functional or is it not? And so we're dealing with functional, then you're dealing with
this nigga. And then what the fuck do I need from this? What do I need this motherfucker to do? That's where I'm looking at.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about interactions. This is a real conversation. Like, you're talking about the kind of potential people we will have run into in need. You know what I'm saying? Or with certain resources or skill sets. You know what I'm saying? That might come in handy. That's all. I think I use that example because unless you're dealing with like some MacGyver shit as far as engineering on any level, with a PhD in U.S. history, in a time of warfare or something like that, they'd have to have already some level of home training out, because the education ain't gonna do shit for you.
So are you saying that we ain't gonna need to know? So are you trying to say that when the war pop off, we don't need to know nothing about no haplogroups and all none of that shit? Is that what you're trying to say?
Hey man, I'm gonna say we gotta be simplified, man. Things are gonna have to be simplified. It's not as complicated as it's become. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying simplified in a dumb it down sense. I'm saying simplify the confusion of the Europeans' ideas about what the world is about and things are and where they came from. You know what I'm saying? Because we already have a level of understanding about it before anybody gives us definitions that he came up with, So I just think we're gonna return. We'd have to be on a simplified terms, man. I'd love to see a day where we might be offended by using certain cracker words in English and stuff. Like, nigga, you using that word? Don't you know we free? We ain't even gotta talk like these motherfuckers no more. You know what I'm saying?
And then the thing, like, for me, I always kind of like, man, you gonna have to have certain niggas do certain shit, and then once they done, man, you just gotta get rid of the motherfuckers. Like, in my particular standpoint, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Some people's support could be. Some people's assistance could be their freedom. You get what I'm saying? Whether they're investing in it or not, whatever role they play might, the task might be completed and they get to be left wherever you may leave them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm also looking at it from that perspective. Necessarily, when you think about a destabilized society, the world actually would open up a little bit more.
You feel? And
the access perspective, you'd have to find new ways of travel and how to get around.
New ways to barter and shit.
Or not get around at all.
No doubt. And then, like, for me personally, if a motherfucker's energy is bad, man, I just don't fuck with him. I don't
Yeah,
give
just
a
leave 'em
fuck
alone.
about none of that shit, huh?
Yeah, that's an automatic. Yeah, they automatically shut out.
Man, I wouldn't give a fuck what you got. If I need, I'm gonna find another way. If a motherfucker is bad energy, I keep it stepping. But then
Oh yeah,
in another note, you might have motherfuckers that you really don't rock with, but these motherfuckers are expendables, man. When you in any type of conflict, you got decoy niggas, you got niggas like that crackhead nigga, he might be good to just send out and see if they got booby traps, tell that nigga I need something there. You know what I mean? These is the type of, like, for real, man. You ain't got to let nobody know nothing. This is the job of motherfucking leaders and military strategists and shit, bro. You got motherfuckers that you just send to go test shit out. Just like, see, some of the shit that this beast be doing, he be testing his little shit out. That's how he got thorough. He used to do that shit to his own people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not justifying it, but when you in these type, we got so many fucked up ass black people, bro. Everybody ain't gonna make it. And I'm not even trying to carry every motherfucker who's screaming out liberation. I'm not even, nigga, it's gonna be a specific code of conduct. And you got to meet measurements, nigga. We put niggas through the litmus test. Niggas is going through boot camp. It's like Brother Bourne was saying, nigga, you get 500 hours, nigga, 10,000 hours, Brother Little, 10,000, nigga. If you can't keep up in certain areas, everybody's going to get tested in specific areas of people operation. And if you fall short, nigga, you gotta have a standard of conduct, a standard of capacity that each man, woman, and child supposed to meet. And when you ain't meeting that standard, you cut. That's how you keep from weak links in the chain. Do it. You can't be like, oh man, well, that's my dog. She cool, man. The only thing they just said that. And man, listen, you not supposed to talk to the enemy, nigga. It's over. You out of here, you know. And I'm not about to tell you. I'm like, well, come holler at me, man. Let me holler. And then that's gonna be the last conversation we gonna have. And you keep stepping. And
you know what? You saying that I can imagine gated world. I don't think there'd be a problem with it. I think let's just use what you just said as an example. You naturally have people only stick with people who think like them or who do what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, and then that's the only way you can know that the motherfuckers in your camp or on your team is really real about your shit. If everybody can be down and there's no criteria and ain't nobody really got to meet no serious standard, how can you tell if you got a Jake or not in your crew? Everybody got to do the same shit, nigga. We gets it in. That's why when you come into a little gang and shit, them niggas like, okay, nigga, you got to catch a body tonight, nigga, because everybody got some dirt on them and everybody rocking. So you gonna be in, either you down or you out, nigga. You in or you out. And once you in, nigga, you in. Nigga, blood in, blood out type shit. Ain't no, man, I don't know if I. Well, let me holler at you. When you hear them words, let me holler at you, you know what it is, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But when you in a serious type of when you in a fight for survival, man, those things are a given. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. But see, those are the grimy elements of actually banging with your enemy, man. Very strict code of conduct, man. There is no room for deviation. If you ain't gonna do that, then you pretty much preparing to lose. That's the reason I probably wouldn't start out with no whole bunch of religious motherfuckers and shit like that. Cause niggas is gonna be on some sucker shit and man, this that Jesus said, Allah, I'm praying, I gotta go pray, all that, man. We not doing that, nigga. We coming up with our own rules and regulations of how we gonna motherfucking engage. So all that shit is out of here, bro. That shit's gone. And that's how you gonna dissect the gristle. You know what I'm saying? It's gone. We're not doing that. All that shit's done. Nigga. You a man, I'm a woman, you my brother. I'm your motherfucking brother, you my sister. I'm your brother, you my sister, I'm your sister. We rocking. We rocking off of one bottom line element is we Africans trying to get free, nigga. Anything else is gonna cause confusion and conflict, man. You're not gonna have a steady circle from my position. So we got to hold the line. This is a racial conflict, bro. This is an ethnic conflict. That's what this whole shit's about. So then that's what your whole shit has to be about if you're gonna maintain. If you bring in any other dogma to the table, any religious dogma ideologies and shit, you're gonna lose, man. And then when you look at when Africa was its strongest, everybody on that continent knew that they was Africans, man. They knew that they was of a specific, you know what I'm saying, racial stock. They understood that. They knew they was black from east to west, north to south. Niggas knew that. And the only time you really start seeing the division amongst the people is when you got foreigners coming in and you mixing up the fucking bloodlines, bro, or you mixing up different groups with religion, religious factions. And now motherfuckers is ready to go so crazy nuts and kill their brothers and sisters over these same divisive elements that foreigners brought in. Because we was not banging on each other like this before you got foreigners coming in. We wasn't doing, we might have some disagreements. You stay over there, I'm gonna stay over here, we chill. You don't have this massive loss of life, bloodshed, until you got foreigners coming in with these ideologies, you know what I'm saying, creating these bringing in these divisive elements. You don't see that amongst our people until. So, like Garvey said, baby, Africa for Africans, you know what I'm saying? The China for the Chinese, nigga. Every group sticks with their group. They identify based on their ethnicity. We the only motherfuckers. Nah, man, I'm Ghanaian. I'm Sierra Leone. I'm Jamaican. Nigga, we Africans, bruh. I know where you at. I know where y'all people locate. I know how y'all get down over there. We all Africans, though. That's how I'm looking at it. When we do that, boom, we can start really making some leeway. That's from my perspective.
So what do you say to those people who say that even in Africa, niggas was never together, they was always separated by tribes, so we're never going to get unified? What do you say to niggas who have that mindset?
Man, I'm gonna say to them niggas, man, well, you know, if you say so, but like I just pointed out, you don't see any massive conflicts between the people over there, even if they had different traditions to somewhat. They all knew that they was black and they wasn't warring or killing each other. So I'm gonna tell them, show me where there was massive conflict amongst people, Africans on the continent, before European intervention of some way, shape, or form. That's what I would ask them to do.
I was gonna say that resulted in the wiping out of whole populations. You know,
even when Bobby Williams.
I was gonna say a lot of times people try to compare. Same thing they do with slavery itself. They generalize slavery as a whole thing instead of dealing with chattel slavery as it is and other people's slavery as what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's two separate things. The same thing with the war, you know. They try to use a limited vision of modern history because that's the only image they have. And they use that and try to juxtapose it on the past that they don't have a visual picture of. So I think that's like the biggest detriment.
No doubt. And you saying that, I had a brother tell me, like, man, Africans we always been warring. We was the first people, so we created everything it is, wars, fags. If whatever it was, we was the first to do it. I was like, man, where you? I said, listen to what you saying, bro. Like, that don't even make no sense. I said, show me. I said, first of all, this is how I killed him with it. I said, listen. I said, you Africans went they took their culture around the world. Would you agree with that? He's like, yep, they've been all over the world. I said, okay. I said, show me where a place where Africans went, where they conquered and dominated and killed another group of people. They always went as civilizers. He's like, yeah, you're right. I said, so if you have a group of people that went to foreign lands in peace as civilizers, what do you think they was doing at their own crib, bro, in their own land with their own people? Because those types of characteristics are ones that are innate in that group. Just like the European, he was born and killing with himself before he stepped out of his little cave and took it to the world. Well, I'm showing you, bro. If we was having at peace with people we was just coming in contact with, just meeting, you know, we was chilling back at home. Among it's in our culture. That's how we operate. We're not a violent people, man. He was like, oh yeah, you gotta make sense. I said, come on, bro. I said, that's that shit the white man throw out there. There's always been wars and people have always been fighting for resources and all that shit, man. And a lot of people who be talking that, agreeing with that, they don't really know. They don't really know history well, man. They don't have a good, even a good analytical mind will be able to, you know what I mean? You can debunk a lot of the dumb shit that gets put out.
Hey, brother Dondre,
But it's real.
pulling up my my DNA, African DNA results. Since you brought haplogroups up, oh man.
I mean, I was just saying, you know, when the shit pop off, I don't think motherfuckers is gonna be too interested in all that. You know what I mean?
Oh man, yeah, that shit's crazy, man. Now we did a show way back, and because the root.com, they had this shit, and so you went to the sweepstakes. If you win, you get a free DNA, African DNA kit. I was like, shit, I'm gonna do it. I did it and won.
What is it, a take-home kit?
All it says is I'm from the West Coast of Africa, you know, which we all, you know, history says that too, though, right?
Pretty much.
That's the thing about that shit.
What
you already know.
Okay.
Well, first of all, hold up though. A lot of people was like, first of all, Dr. Walter Williams debunked that. He was like, a lot of us, that's a misnomer. They try to tell us that to disconnect us from ancient Egypt and shit. And then I'll be thinking this, like I'm hearing a lot of people like Dr. Cambone and shit, Abadale Cambone was talking about that, you know, the original map, the up south map. So if that's really true, if the map is upside down,
we still from the west.
And, you know, we would be, huh?
We'll still be from the west.
Think.
If you flip it, we'll still be from the west.
How? Nigga, if I'm on if I'm standing up, my right arm is in the direction it's gonna be, you're gonna be, you know, direction wise, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna change because how that's gonna be like it would still be the north would still be up. So if you change it upside down, east gonna have to be west gonna have to be east, north gonna have to be south gonna have to be north. So there's no way possible it could still be from the west.
Nah, what I'm saying.
You feel me?
I'm saying, look at the map. If you look at the map, right, and it flips. Will still be, because you flipping it. That
I see
whole,
what you're trying to say.
like,
everything flips is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But still, like, I gave him the ammunition, how bro calls. I should have let him figure it out. He's about to be like, nah. You would think though, but I mean, or you know what I'm saying, the motherfucking you know,
but
Africa.
Here's another thing that I think people are leaving out. They're leaving out the fact that through a lot of the wars and invasions and all that took place in that part of the continent pushed the people down and pushed the people into other areas, which brings the cultural continuity that the continent has. So even though they saying that, oh, we was taken from the West, I don't think that loses our connection to what was going on the East.
Well,
I don't think we was able. I don't think we was able a stationary people on the continent. I think we roamed the whole continent.
no, I ain't saying we didn't, because they even saying ancient Egypt is a culmination of Africans coming into that specific landmass, coming up south. And even but with the wars and all of that, Dr. Barbara Walter Williams is he's saying a lot of that's European chronology. So a lot of those events of wars and shit is like it's made up history and shit. He's saying a lot of that shit never even happened. The Persians and all that.
Nah, those not the. I wasn't talking about those. I was talking about the ones that we actually know popped off, like the Greeks, the Romans. We know they ran up in there. You know what I'm saying? Those are the shit I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the make believe biblical shit.
No. I ain't talking about no make believe shit. He's talking about the ancient Egyptian chronology.
The Persians is some made up shit. There's no first things, no Persians.
No doubt. But what I'm saying is this. He's saying even some of the documented ancient Egyptian chronology is off. He's saying he said the ancient Egyptians never had a chronology of themselves. So what we're reading and interpreting is the European chronology for the ancient Egyptian. All these dynasties and stuff, he said there was no such thing as no damn dynasty.
I got all that.
This is your
okay. But I think that particular aspect is irrelevant because the actual chronology, like, let me get it out. The dating is irrelevant if we know, unless you're saying that the Greeks and their cousins, the Romans, never invaded. That's all wrong. I could care less about when they say it actually happened. We know at some point in time, some foreigners came in and our ancestors took an L. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't no L to take because according to Dr. Barbara Walter Williams, the doc, wasn't no standing armies, bruh. Wasn't no fight. Niggas just came in and just started fucking vandalizing, stealing, raping, and robbing.
That's still an L, fam.
That ain't
that's
no
still L. If niggas just come in and ransack your shit, that's not taking the loss.
Ain't no L, nigga. That's no scrap. Niggas
so you telling me if niggas was to just run up in your crib right now and ransack your shit, you don't gotta be home. You're not home. You don't even gotta be home, but niggas ransack your shit and take all your shit. That's not an L.
It depends on what the fuck I had, nigga. If they just ransack,
well, we had nigga, my fam. I'm saying,
get me on
did Egypt get ransacked, nigga?
Bro, they got vandalized. Yes, there was the robbery that took place. They got vandalized.
So isn't that an L? Didn't they dig up our ancestors' mummies and got these niggas posted up in museums and shit? That's an L, fam.
That's not. I mean, I'm trying to say this. Listen, you have to understand in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying? You had a savage doing what a savage do. A civilized person does what a civilized person is doing. So I'm not going. I'm thinking from my perspective, but L is nigga. If I'm actually like engaging with somebody, there was no conflict to take place. Motherfuckers just came and started fucking up our shit and then subjugated us because we're not fucking savages, my nigga. That's not an L. That's a bust. That's a nigga just fucking with you for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see how being subjugated is not taking the L, fam. Whether we fought or not, being subjugated is taking the L, nigga.
If we fought, then that'd be taking the L. If there was actual exchange, my nigga, wasn't no exchange. Niggas was like, oh, we coming in, give me your shit. We like, here. Where's the L? Nigga, take this shit. What's the
Nigga,
problem?
the L is nigga, you niggas done took your shit and now you under them. That's the L, nigga. I'm not controlling my shit no more. I got these cracker motherfuckers controlling my shit.
That to me, that ain't no L though, because it's like, look,
I
whether
don't
you
see
want
how it's
for
not, fam.
real, guess
Because
what?
you know, because fam, that's why we in the shit we in today, fam.
Nah, we in the shit we in today because of, you know what I'm saying?
Because niggas
Like I
got
said,
subjugated, nigga.
You have a clash of cultures going on, man. And even when you look at what's popping right now, if we actually understood who the fuck we was as a fucking people, you know what I'm saying? What our purpose was on this motherfucking, you know, on this so-called planet, in this universe, man, in this time, in this particular cycle, we would be much further along. See, it's not necessarily the aggressive conflict that's going to get us over at this point. It's beyond that now. Now a nigga needs to have a re-education of oneself, knowledge of self. The greatest thing that was really took from us was our knowledge of self, bro. So, and I'm saying, that's why I'm saying, it's okay for you not, it's all right. Go ahead, huh? There's nothing wrong with me not being a killer, bro. It's all right with me not having to be no fucking grimy ass, head busting type. That's okay. That don't make me weak. That don't make me no hoe. You ain't taking this. See, if you looking at it like that, then
Wait. You gotta be weak and you gotta be a hoe if you take a L.
Nah, man, it ain't about, to me, it ain't about taking no L. You know what I'm saying? Because you're looking at, you gotta understand this. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? The African is as powerful as he and she has been since the time we've been here, bro. That's why the fuck we still here. Now, if you're going to try to equate what's been going on in the sense of, you know what I'm saying, material gain, you know what I'm saying, then yeah, you can go ahead and use them terms. We took an L, we got bum rushed and
Material has nothing, nigga. We took a L on all levels, fam. Some fighting, some cowardly, but we took an L on all levels, physically, mentally, spiritually. I mean, it's not saying that the fight is over, but niggas took it out. We lost a round or two. I mean, I don't see how you're arguing that point. Like we're not in.
First, we talk about the ancient Egyptians first, though. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is they were not.
They took an L too. They took an L, fam.
Bro, you ain't taking no L if you're not no motherfucking. You're not even fighting. That's no L. Nigga, some niggas bum rushed the shit, and niggas was like, "Oh, what's this? What's going on?" First of all, we welcome niggas in, because we're not you gotta understand, man. When you understand that you're dealing with a civilized people, war and conflict is not in the nature of the people at that time, man.
It sounds like you justify niggas being bitches to me, man.
Nah, man, it ain't even got nothing. It's, bro, see, and that's what it is. See, look, now you're taking on the mind state of that European. Now, look,
no, I'm not, because you're saying that niggas came in. We didn't have a standing army, so we just let these niggas come in, take over niggas shit, put niggas under subjugation. You know what I'm saying? Make niggas they servants and all that, and that's not an L. That's just because it wasn't in our nature. That doesn't sound cool to me, and I don't think that me saying that's some big shit is siding with the European, because you got some of our ancestors who wasn't letting niggas just walk in and subjugate us like that. Were they savages? Nah, they just wasn't having that shit.
Listen, man, and like I said, if you want to, first of all, we talking about the ancient Egyptians first. Now you talk about other groups or whatnot. I'm solely speaking on the ancient Egyptian culture based on what I was, you know what I'm saying, information that I got from Bible.
What was the ancient Egyptians at the time when the Greeks and Romans came in? Were they the only culture alive at that time?
What you mean, man? I mean, I'm strictly speaking.
I'm asking a question. When the Romans and the Greeks came into Egypt, was Egypt the only civilization alive at that time? Was there any other people, any other civilization at that time when the Romans came in?
I wouldn't know, B. I would assume it was probably some people around other parts of the.
So
You talking about other parts of the continent?
there weren't no people in the South. We didn't have no people in the South. None of that. It was just people in one little area.
Bro, I just said I don't know. I said I would assume so. I'm speaking on that particular the conquering of ancient Egypt, bro. Now you taking it across
Because
the waters and all that.
because I'm talking about right on the continent. I'm not taking the crosswords or anything because I'm trying to get to a point.
What's
Our
up?
people, if Egypt was a collaboration of, I forget if it was 5 or 12 nomes, but that means it was a conglomerate of people who formed a let's just say a confederation with Egypt as the capital. So when these foreigners came in, if the people at that capital didn't fight and that area got taken over because they didn't have a standing army, there was a reason why they didn't continue to move further south. And what I'm saying is because you're saying that they weren't savages, they didn't have an army, that's why they didn't fight. So the other people who were there who did fight, were they savages?
You there? You out there, cause?
Yeah. I'm just listening right now.
Nah, bro. Andre like went out, like he went in and out, and shit, I couldn't hear him.
I'm just trying to figure out, if, you know what I'm saying, if the other ancestors who was there were savages because they decided to fight. I'm confused here. Like, I'm totally confused. Like,
now I'm strictly talking about ancient Egypt, bro. When they came in there, when the Romans came in, when the Greeks came in that motherfucker, 325 BC, bro. First, it wasn't necessarily an invasion as much as it was just, you know what I'm saying? Niggas came in, take it. First of all, they came in learning, getting knowledge and wisdom, B. You gotta understand, you looking at a high civilization there. You looking at massive architectural structures, you know what I'm saying? You looking at celestial science in connection with the physical. So you got motherfuckers that's on a whole nother level of existence. And then you get some fucking warmonger savages coming in there, man.
maybe I need to
Unsanitary.
maybe I need to word it another way. Let me
Ain't nothing
word.
word, B. There's
Nah,
nothing word, no other way.
I do need to
Didn't
word
know
this.
nothing about that.
I need to word this another way because I think for some reason what I'm saying is just completely being missed, and I'm getting a little confused
What it
here,
is,
and I don't want
you're
to be.
taking it out
When
of
you say when,
context, brother, right? You taking
okay,
shit out of context. I'm
no,
speaking strictly.
I'm not because
I'm speaking strictly. Go ahead. I'm speaking strictly on the conquering of ancient Egypt, bro. I'm not talking
what
about
does ma'am,
nothing else.
in your construct, what does that consist of? Does that consist of any? Does that just consist of the upper kind? Are we talking about the now, or we just talking about where it's sectioned off right now in present time? Like what are your
Listen, I'm
demographics
talking
here?
about 325 BC when the motherfucker Alexander the Greek rolled up in the motherfucker, bro. There was no fight.
I
You know
got
what I'm saying? Niggas
what
came in there, robbing, stealing,
I asked. I'm asking a specific question because I'm trying to get an understanding here. When you say Egypt at that time, are you talking about the boundaries that are set on the map right now, or are you talking about the whole now that, or down to the first kind? Like, what are you? Because I'm trying to see where can our section
bro.
go? Because I know according
How would I
to,
know that that was the boundaries at that time? Like, listen to what you fucking asking me. How would I know? Like, oh yeah, the boundaries that you see now did that time? Like, nobody gonna know that shit.
because Baba Williams gave us that information.
Okay, what did he say?
He told us how far Egypt went down to what cataract and all that. He spoke about this.
Okay, so where was it at then?
Egypt went down to I don't want to misspeak because I'm not looking at my notes, but I believe it
Get
was
your
either the
notes,
second or
bruh.
third
Get
cataract.
the notes, bruh.
It was either the second or third cataract,
Which is where?
which is going down into the part of what if you look on the map today is into the Sudan. It didn't just cut off where, and I know when they entered, they didn't get all the way down. They got met at a certain point and they got fought off. So my question is, which people
Hold on,
were the
hold
savages?
on,
Because you know what I'm saying? They
hold
didn't just run in and take over the whole shit. They got met by some motherfuckers who they got into conflicts with.
All right, hold on. Who fought them off? Because Baba Williams specifically said there was no standing armies. So there wasn't no resistance coming from the Egyptians at that point. So who fought who off? Because wasn't no goddamn army. So please enlighten me.
Again, so you're saying there were no people in the South. I keep asking that same question.
Hold up. You said Baba Williams told us.
Out of these gnomes, okay, out of these gnomes, right? Because you keep you. I wish we had like a map, so I can get a understanding of what you're saying, because these 5 gnomes, right? If I'm correct, didn't Baba Williams give certain countries that encompassated these gnomes and these lands?
Bro, you asking first. You was telling me. Now you asking me. So what I'm gonna do
I'm,
is this for the sake.
I'm asking for a consensus. I don't want to say something. Someone say, "Oh, nah, he didn't say it." I'm
You
asking for
know,
because
bro.
I know he did give us a list of 5 countries that
It
were
was, it
part
was, it
of
was 7.
that 5. No, it was 7. My bet. That's why I was asking, so I can get a consensus here. I'm trying to get a consensus so we all on the same page.
But look, peep it out though. For the sake of the, you know what I'm saying, the game right now, that ain't really doing us no justice, really dropping. But you gonna build on that later though. Let's try to keep the, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
conversation on
we do need to
solid
build on
ground.
that later.
I'm gonna get at you on that one, B. Much love.
Shit, I was about to pull the map up.
But still, it would still be kind of speculation, at least on my part, you know what I'm saying? But I know Bobby Williams said there was no standing armies, wasn't no resistance, bruh. So when you about to go into who fought off who, I'm real interested to hear that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to take the dialogue, you know what I'm saying? Because this is going to be for, you know, the mainstream game. I don't want to really have the conversation like each and everywhere when we could be probably putting out more pertinent info and shit.
Nah, I feel you.
Yo, you know what's wild about the DNA, the African DNA findings, right? It shows, for example, my group is the L3D group. And so in Egypt, and then spreading to Ghana and towards South Africa is in the Middle East. And then it jumps all the way to Asia and shit.
That's interesting.
It's just one of those things. I'm about to post a map that with y'all real quick. Not to validate it or anything like that, but just to see what it's like with the if you notice something in the map.
Oh yeah, they say that let me see, the L3D, that's the Fulani, the Chaldeans, the Ethiopians, the Akans, the Mozambique, the Yemen, and the Egyptians and the Berbers. Those are the L3D people.
Yeah.
But see, that's where that connection, what the West comes from, because you see they got the Egyptians and they got the Akan, and you got the Akan who were from Ghana, who were pushed down from Ghana's old original location up by Mali, who were pushed down when the Arabs invaded to where their current location is at, towards where the Ivory Coast is at. So there's a connection there. Especially if you throw in the five gnomes that about what Libya and some other countries further to the east that he mentioned, you can see a connection with just general migration. Because the people did go south when the Sahara started to dry up, the people moved south as well.
Yeah. Yeah, like the DNA thing does support the idea that made it out of Egypt to the west coast of Africa.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah, man, I like this screen sharing shit, man.
But it's funny that, because you don't hear a lot of people talk about that particular haplogroup. Everyone wants to be in the E's. They always talk about the E1s and the E3s. And
You said everybody wants to what?
be in the E's.
Oh, yeah.
I hear them talk about the E1, B1A, and the E3 and the E2. They mostly talk about the E haplogroups. They don't talk about the L2.
Yeah, and even when you look at the grid right there, it shows the thousands of years origin of those particular groups. When you look at the cracker shit, it'd be like years ago. Shit like that. 25. But then when you start jumping to like L3, it's like 70. Yeah, man. So yeah, I just posted that because it's something.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's got its points, equal value. Just from a migrational perspective, not even on the genetic thing. Like I said, it really can't tell you nothing you don't already know if you're not in denial. Like unless you're in denial, you're African. I have no problem with accepting where you come from.
I mean,
I think sometimes it's for people who have a problem with it.
You got a strong contingent of people now who are on that. We've always been here. We ain't from Africa. That's a hoax by the European to steal this land from us. We the natives and all that Africa shit is bullshit.
Yeah, I've been hearing that too. I mean, I think the part of the argument, or part of what a lot of people use to support that argument, is the idea that we've been everywhere first, right?
Pretty
and
much.
then so in here, since is saying that the Europeans' lies go beyond our understanding, But personally, me, if I look at even if I look at an old Native American picture or whatnot, I don't look like no damn Native American. I don't even look close. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of times people don't take the mixing into consideration.
They don't consider mixing.
Because some of these racial boundaries that we have now weren't around back then. So there was a lot of just general mixing going on.
Yeah.
So you get these hence all the different haplogroups and shit.
Yeah, they be making new ones and shit. Basically, they basically took the African and made a whole shitload of new species of human beings. They practiced the one drop rule on everybody on the planet. We gonna put a drop of nigga in this one, a drop of nigga in that one.
But I'm kind of like I'm trying to get the point of them saying that, like, okay, if they say that the slave trade and all that shit is bullshit, we was already here and it did all that to steal this land from us. I'm like, okay, does that change? How does that change the task at hand? Like, okay, you not trying to claim Africa, you don't want to go back home, okay, but you still got the cracker on your ass. So how does that actually change what really needs to be done? Like, why is that even an argument? Like, did they enslave the Africans different than the natives? I mean,
You said that did they enslave different than what?
did the Africans get enslaved differently than the natives? I mean, because when history tells, they tried to just wipe the natives out. So I mean, I don't. I'm confused.
Yeah, this. You know what they teach in school, at least what I learned in school was, and it's funny how crackers do it. Natives weren't strong enough, so they had to get Africans. You know what I'm saying? So they tried them on, they broke down. That's the educational system.
The funny shit, because it's funny because at first they tell you that they had them Irish motherfuckers and they couldn't cut it. So then they got the natives, and natives couldn't cut it either. So then they got our ass, which is all about. It's I don't know. That shit is just crazy.
Yeah, man. That's one of the great tragedies of human history is with it being interpreted from one perspective. You know, like the extent to which the clacker glorifies his journey is just you're never surprised. You know, you think about the revisionist movement. Our blacks were volunteers during slavery and shit. You got the other part of the revisionist movement is trying to figure out ways to further separate being the descendants of Africans from being black in America. So crackers are rewriting. They're basically rewriting the old books. You know, you're talking about revision. That the stories that we were educated on are going to change into something completely different that's going to be unrecognizable. And eventually, the people who were taught the initial truth or fact are going to be dead. Children's children will be indoctrinated with the new program. I think it's meant to buy Europeans more time. It's like there's levels to putting somebody asleep, and so if the end result is like what happened for the last 500 years, that's a part of an agenda in itself. And so to sit and observe vision of our history while we're still people still waking up in some ways, and then you got people who are trying to do what they can to offset a lot of the dysfunction and destruction that comes from being in this situation. It's crazy. Another part of revisionist ideals is integration and multicultural interaction. Like pretty much just mate with anyone that's not black, and you'll be moving the world forward. That eventually, you think about a day where people say, "Well, it's not good to mate with your own people. You should always look for someone that doesn't look like you." You know,
What about this?
Standard.
What about this one? There's more differences for people within a group than there is with people from a different group. You heard that shit?
Yeah.
You told me some shit like that. I said, what the fuck you talk about? There's more differences from people within the same group than there is from people from a whole nother group. Get the fuck
See,
out of here.
that's twisting information because they say Africa got the most diversity. So that's trying to twist that to say that, oh, there's more differences from people from a similar groups than different groups. But nah,
that's a cunning play on words right there.
Yeah. They good for that bullshit.
You got some silly ass black people that'll tell you the same shit. And you know, but that's the kind of the whole
That's
fuck.
because they love the crack of it.
Well, you know, they've been miseducated, man. So the longer you fucking around in this system, bruh, the more damage this gets done to your psyche and shit. You know what I'm saying? Unless you just come to the conclusion that you are African. When niggas try to be like, okay, I'm a Moor, or I'm a fucking Hebrew Israelite, or this is the problem with these different religions or these different sects. When you can't identify yourself as, you know what I'm saying, a specific, you know what I mean, a branch of human, then you start to take on all these different identities. But with that identity comes a whole psychological, you know what I'm saying, whole psychological, ideological backdrop. So now you can't be, in order for you to identify with that shit, there's no way you can be African at this point now. Because if you do, then you're not part of that particular, you know what I'm saying, adopted philosophy or ideology. So now you cannot be, at all costs, you cannot be an African. You know what I'm saying? And with the negative connotation connected to African in Western culture, you get the babies that a lot of the times that don't even want to identify this because of the you know what I mean, the miseducation, the misinformation that's been given out about the continent, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, so it's the more you fuck with anything outside of African culture, I think the more it kind of like scrambles your identity. And this is why, like you were saying we was talking about in the beginning about unifying with groups, irregardless of religion and all of that. Sometimes the shit just get, you know what I'm saying, get to the point where um, they not for African liberation because their ideology doesn't support it. So they like, well, you know, I do love my brother, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take care of my brother, this and that. Like on the surface level, the shit, you know, pans out. But then when it gets to like nationhood and shit, you find yourself, you know what I'm saying, at odds with these particular organizations or individuals.
Yeah, you'd be like, you ready to go to war? And they'd be like, I'm a soldier for Christ.
I'm at war with the devil, huh? You'd be like, yeah, me too. They be like,
Yeah.
you mean Esau? You mean Esau, boy?
And that's crazy because like the spiritual war is just as justified as a physical one. You get what I'm saying? but you can't deal with the physical. You know, how can you only deal with there's a need for balance in a lot of things, man. But you can't be targeting the enemy in one way, correct, and then the other way, something completely opposite of what the real enemy is.
Well, you know, you understand that too, because if you listen to Malcolm and you listen to brother Dr. Khalid Muhammad, like they was slowly bringing the nation into a knowledge of self, letting them know, like, hey, our peoples is, if you really want to get serious about the stories, they start putting them in, you know what I'm saying, an ancient Egyptian context. Malcolm more so just an African-centered context, but Dr. Khalid, like, look, you know what I'm saying? If you really want to get, I'll tell you about, you know, Haru, and he started going into the ancient Kemetic joint, but he knew he couldn't get that shit to them all at once because he would have lost them. We always had a little piece of this, a little piece of that, because they say they, you know, Africans, and they can't identify with the Islam move. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna fuck with it. So they had to, like, you know, man, they had to they had to hint. Like, he hinting that shit, like Dr. Khaled little hints. He couldn't say it all the way because niggas is in for them to be Muslim. We can't be Africans and be Muslims, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna conflict with ideology. And then if you do that, you're gonna fuck up the money game that, you know, Farrakhan them running, because they got them all plugged into that shit from top to bottom. So then if you start now, so much so that he could switch the game up to Scientology on a nigga. It ain't no problem with it. But if a nigga switched it up to, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, Nile Valley, that's a problem. Or just, you know, ancient Africa, period. That's a problem to Scientology, because that should take you even further away from African culture right there. Now you really in the Europeans' backyard. We all won now. We all the same just got bored. But again, you gotta you can be everything but an African these days, damn near, man. And what is a Moor? Is Morocco not in Africa and shit? So what the fuck is a Moor? Is it Moor not an African? I mean, I might just be fucked up.
Is a Moor not an African, right?
You feel me?
Nah, because the Moors ain't black. Them niggas is Berbers, so the motherfuckers ain't African. Fuck out of here. And as a matter of fact, shout out the class of Shabazz. This nigga did some shit where he just smacked Lord Abba up. I mean, he put out some shit where, like, the nigga was basically saying, oh, in this book, it tells you blah, 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 blah. This is like, but hold up, I got the book. And it doesn't say that right here. It says something totally different. You know what I'm saying? So them niggas is crack. Them Moors is fucking Berbers, man. Them niggas is white Berbers. Ain't Africans. They not blacks. They not black Africans. And put it like that. They some other shit. And that's why they classified as white in the first place.
But the original Moors, even with Dr. Not even just Dr. Walter Williams, like other even you know, Dr. Clark, the Moors coming out of Morocco, the original Moors. Where would you even get the term Moor fucking from if it didn't have nothing to do with Morocco? You know what I'm saying? Like which is in Africa, or Mauritania as well. Original Moors. So where the fuck would they even get the term from if it didn't have no connection to Africa?
That's where you gotta get into chronology and all that to find out who you actually talking about. Because at the same time, if you look at supposedly Hannibal and Carthage is in that same area, and they're supposedly called the Afar people, where the name Africa comes from. So you gotta look at what time frame you're talking about, because
Well,
more and Mauritania, all that sounds Latin to me. So if these are Latin connotations, when did you know what I'm saying? You gotta look at the etymology of the name and all that to find out who these people really are.
hold up, dog. According to Dr. Walter Williams, dog, there's never been a Hannibal. These are all created. These are all, you know what I'm saying? These, what do they call that? God damn, what's the name for that shit? Incarnated individuals, bro. These are incarnated names, man. These people, there's no proof of no Hannibal. Think about it. You took 40 elephants on a voyage up into motherfucking what was that, Spain? What was y'all eating? 40,000 soldiers, 40 all this. It shit don't even, when you really listen to the story of Hannibal, it don't even make no motherfucking sense. You know what I'm saying? But just to keep it simple, Baba Walter Williams said no Hannibal ever existed, man. These are all incarnated names, man. They given a name and they put a story to a name, man. There's no real documentary.
See, I would add something like I wouldn't question that. I would look at the Barbary Wars and things like that, things that was going down in that region, which displaced a lot of the population, which changed a lot of these people names through the migration patterns and people being conquered, which where this name pops up at.
Which you, but first of all, you gotta give me, you know what I mean? You gotta be able to verify the end of for. You got who, what, when, where, and you know what I mean? Who, what, when, where, and how. That we just analyzing over some shit that we can't even verify really took place.
Chronology comes in.
Yeah, but I'm saying we got a master teacher, Dr. Walter Williams, who's a master historian.
But
hey man, this shit ain't never happened.
I'm not knocking.
So I'm elder, baby.
But what I'm talking about is not in the scope of what Baba Williams is teaching us right now, because Baba Williams is not going outside the aspect of Egypt. Everything that he's teaching
not true. Is true. He touching on.
He's telling us to stay focused in one particular region, Egypt.
Nah, he's focusing on a historical backdrop with the contextualization of ancient Egypt, but he's giving you the history on different so-called phenomena and events that took some that took place and some that never happened. He ain't just talking about Egypt.
He does not want the class to step into any other region of Africa. He wants the class to stay in Egypt. He has said, forget about West Africa's, the Nubians, forget about all that and stay focused on Egypt. Am I wrong, or did he not say this?
I'm not saying that he didn't say that, but he spoke about Hannibal as an imaginary.
The reason why I brought that up is because when I mentioned the Barbary Wars, and you say, well, we got a master teacher, Baba Williams, he's not talking about that. He's not venturing into that aspect yet. Not saying that he doesn't know about it or anything like that. He's not venturing into that aspect yet. So we don't have anything to fall back on from what he has said about the Barbary Wars or the displacement of the people of the North.
I'm just telling you.
He hasn't spoken about it.
He spoke on Hannibal, and he spoke about the Carthaginians, and he said the shit was fiction.
So you're saying that the people who lived in North Africa were never displaced? Is that what you're saying? That those Arabs have always been there?
I'm saying he spoke on Hannibal. He spoke.
I didn't ask you. I'm not asking you what he said. I'm asking you: are you saying those Berbers have always been there, and the people in North Africa.
That's neither here nor there. I'm telling you, Hannibal, according to Dr. Walter Williams, is
I didn't
fiction.
ask you. I asked you
Carthage
a
is
different
fiction.
question. I said
I don't
I'm
know
not.
about that. I don't know about that, brother. My brother.
Hold up. Are you following what I'm saying? Because I said I'm not going to question the validity of Hannibal or not. That's not here nor there. The Barbary Wars, which was a war for the trade routes up there, has nothing to do with Hannibal. So what I'm saying is that those people, the people, the black Africans, displaced through wars and pushed to the south by those Arabs, that never happened. And those Arab Berbers have always been there because Baba Williams says that Hannibal didn't exist. Is that what you're saying? Doesn't go past
Bro,
what Baba Williams has told you.
Talking about the Berber Wars, we were speaking about Mauritania
But that's
and
what I said
Morocco,
10
where
minutes ago.
the war would even come from. That's what we originally was talking about. So I don't know about the motherfucking Berber Wars. You know what I'm saying? I know that Baba Williams speaks.
But when I said that, I said that the Moor and Mauritania, that's Latin. So we need to look at the invasions and when the displacement took place. I said all that. That's when I brought it into connotation.
Moor in Morocco is you said that's Latin. I mean,
Mauritania,
I'm not saying what it is.
that's Latin. So I said we need to find out what these lands was originally called before they took upon these labels, which came with the invasions
It
and the
don't even
displacement of
matter,
the
bro,
people.
Andre. This shit don't even matter, bro. Nigga, I'm talking about word more came from those people who came from those countries, man. That's all I'm saying. That's where the term was meant to identify. Other than
What
that,
people and what
why would
countries?
even
What
anybody
people
call
and
themselves a Moor?
what people and what country?
Bro, the term Moor was used for individuals that either Mauritania or Morocco. That's what I'm saying. Now you know something different, let me know.
I'm asking the question because I mean the invasions and the displacement of the people don't mean nothing. So I'm just trying to get on the same page as you. That's all.
My original point was the term Moor that people using the term Moor but don't want to say that they're African, and I'm saying that term originates from people who were called Moor coming from those particular geographic areas, which would be Mauritania or
was
Morocco.
there
That's why they was called Moors.
was there a Mauritania at the time of the Egyptians before any invasions? Was there a Mauritania? Was Mauritania one of the 7 countries that Baba mentioned?
The common and according to the the Nile Wealth Common Valley, what was that? Nile Valley Commonwealth. That was one of the countries. Mauritania was one of the countries, and he said the term Moor were for the people from Mauritania who was invited into Europe to bring civilization there. That's where that term originates from those people from that area, according to what I understood from Dr. Walter Williams.
So it's a European term. So that means that's not what the people were calling themselves.
Say again?
That means it's a European term. Am I correct?
Not necessarily, because Latin comes from our people's to ancient Egypt trying to conquer. They didn't have no writing system, so we gave them
But
which
no.
came
You're doing that. You're doing that again. No. You free.
writing system came Latin,
There's
baby
a
boy. That's all I know.
no. You're doing it again. This is the same argument we had the last time. A script and a language are 2 different things. The script and the language is not the same. The language comes before the script.
Bro, I didn't say that it didn't. We had to give them an
You
alphabet.
said language.
Out of the alphabet comes Latin for the Romans. Thank you.
I'm not talking about a script though. I'm talking about a language.
Okay, that's cool. I'm telling you that we gave them a writing system.
The only thing we gave them was a script, not the language.
I'm not saying we needed, but there was no. They were speaking Roman. That's not Latin, bro. That's not Latin. Latin comes out of the writing system that we gave.
The Romans speak Latin. There's no language called Roman. The language is called Latin. There's no language called Roman.
Bro, that's why I'm saying the Romans came in speaking a dialect out of the alphabet
they call
we gave.
Latin. That
telling me
Latin. The Romans do not speak Roman.
How you know? What I'm saying is this:
the language that
they wasn't speaking Latin either. So you telling me you can't take an alphabet and create you can't create a language out of another alphabet, a different style of language, a different style of linguistics from somebody else's alphabet? Are you telling me that you can't do
that? No, you're taking it from their language, not the alphabet. No.
Hold up.
The alphabet is describing. The alphabet is a symbol symbolizing the language. The alphabet is not the language.
It's phonetics. But you telling me that you can't take somebody's alphabet and create a new style of linguistics? You telling me you can't do that?
No, you have to know the language.
How do we get so-called slang or ebonics then?
Because we are taking the English language and distorting it. We know the language. We're looking at the words and we're trying to sound it out in the English language. We know some semblance of the language.
Bro, it's a phonetic alphabet, so it's based on sound. So you're not distorting anything.
If you do not know the basics of the language, you cannot distort the alphabet.
What is language for? What is language for?
Communication.
I can do what the fuck I want to do with it, long as you know what I'm saying, and I know what I'm saying. So we can do it however we want to do it.
If you make up your own shit, that doesn't mean that it is the same as the language that. I don't even know how to explain this. This is really retarded. Because this is some real retarded shit. Like I really don't believe in having this conversation. Like how the fuck you take? Yo, I don't believe it. You cannot take. Basically, you cannot take the hieroglyphics, which is an alphabet. Put your own shit to it and say you speak in the Egyptian language. You cannot do that.
Who's talking about hieroglyphics here? Where do you get this shit from?
You're talking about language and script. It doesn't matter which language or script you pick and choose to use. You can't take the Arabic script. Put your own words to it and say you speak in Arabic.
A phonetic alphabet. Not talking about a symbolic alphabet. That's different. Which would be the hieroglyphs. It's symbolic.
There is no. What are you talking about? Phonetic alphabet. What are you talking about?
A symbolic alphabet and a phonetic alphabet be different. This symbol means this. It's not based on sound. It's based on symbolism.
Did the priests speak to each other using the hieroglyphics and know what the fuck they were talking about?
Hey, I'm just going. You're using
that's a simple yes or no question. Did the priests who wrote the shit, were they able to communicate with it? Did they know what the fuck they were talking about?
But here's what I'm saying. If you have a symbolic
semantics, man. This is a whole semantic argument because you don't want to admit the fact that you can't take a language that it's like you want to deny that language and script are two different things. You want to deny that and try to make them two the same. But language and a script are two different things.
Listen, all I'm saying is you could take a phonetic alphabet and use and create a new style of linguistics with it. And I already just proved it to you. It's been done, right? We already did that shit.
You cannot. You no. You know you're not doing that. You're taking an actual language and you're putting the symbols to it. You're saying the phonetic alphabet like it's something different. A script is not the actual phonetics. You don't get no phonetics from a script. You only get the phonetics from the actual language. A script don't give you no phonetics. It's just a damn symbol. The phonetics comes from the language. Without knowing the
Bro.
language, you
So
cannot get no phonetics to the script.
hold up though. Like I said, we're using phonetics. So when you take A and you can go A sound or go ah. So what is you talking about? And you can put
Man, you still, man, you
hold up,
still have to be told A and
hold up,
I. You cannot just look at that symbol
hold up,
and say what it is. You have to know the
hold up.
language first.
All right, listen. First of all, if that was the case, how would the ancestors be able to create an alphabet from a language that they didn't speak?
Because so you're trying to say that they didn't, how are they communicating with the Greeks if they didn't learn Greek? They had to
Oh,
learn Greek in order to communicate with them and to put a script to their language. They had to learn the
okay.
Greek.
No, listen. When you a civilized people, boss, you can create a system of measurement, whether it be language, numbers, what have you, enough common sense to be able to create a construct around a particular ideology, dude. So you can create a time system, you can create
Griff,
a number system,
Griff,
a
Griff,
letter system,
Griff,
but you can
You're not being logical, and you're trying to create some supernatural shit. And I'm gonna try to walk slow with you on this one.
bruh, you ain't even you like you
Did Baba Williams say that the Greeks already were speaking their language and the Egyptians just put a script to their language? Did he say that?
bro, he said they came in there and they forced the language on our peeps, bro.
And we gave them a script to that language,
Bro,
correct?
you created an alphabet. You creating an alphabet. You know what I'm saying? A
Alphabet script. You playing word semantics, man. It's the same thing. The alphabet is the script. It's the same thing,
listen,
man.
listen. You're creating a phonetic alphabet.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is why he said the letter, which is another type of
I can't.
alphabet,
I can't.
symbolic.
I can't.
You
I
cannot,
can't, yo.
you cannot
I can't.
create. You can't. That's why he
I
said
can't.
you don't know what these
I
symbols
can't.
mean
I
unless
can't.
you created the
Man,
symbol.
if I don't tell you, I could write out alphabet out all day. If you come from China and you never heard no English in your life, you won't know what the hell those symbols mean. So there's no difference, man. Still have to be told what those symbols are to know what they mean. You can't just make some shit
It,
up out of thin air. It don't matter. You still have to be
it
told what it means.
do
And
matter,
the whole
bruh.
point
Because
is
if that was the
being that
case,
all the priest
hold
was killed, no one knows what those symbols mean. That was the point he was trying to make.
on. Okay, listen. If the shit was that simple, the motherfucking Greeks would have already had an alphabet when they came in there. So just having a tongue doesn't mean anything, dude. To apply a system, a systematic you're doing a number system to be able to tell the time of day, a calendar, you got to be able to have the knowledge to be able to make that type of systematic construct, B. So
What
what I'm
does that
telling
gotta do
just
with talking? What does making a calendar and all that shit gotta do with talking to a
oh,
motherfucker?
listen again, you're trying to play, you know what I mean, take this shit out of context.
No, I'm not, because the whole time I've been saying you're trying to make a script. You're trying to make a
Listen,
script and the language the same thing, and they are not the same thing. You keep trying to say, oh, phonetic alphabet and all this.
that's
You need to know
not
the phonetics to put to an alphabet. There are two different
what
things. You're
I'm saying.
putting the phonetics to an alphabet. You're not. A phonetic alphabet doesn't come out the fucking sky. You got to have the phonetics first to put to the symbols that become the alphabet.
Bro,
But
that's
you're trying to make it all the same thing, like it's all one the same, and it's not.
you have it, you speaking the language. Does I can create an alphabet Like I said, that's symbolic. It don't have to be phonetic. So it's the fact that you have the skills to create a construct around a specific ideology, bro. So them speaking the language don't mean shit. That's why you can take the phonetic alphabet and you can create a new language with, you can create new linguistics with that shit.
And I'm gonna say this again, without knowing the phonetics, how the hell can you take any alphabet and create a script to without knowing the phonetics? You have to know the phonetics already. That's the part that you're missing. You're making you're assuming you're trying to make the phonetics the actual alphabet, and it's not. The phonetics is part of the language, not the script.
You losing me, dog. You losing me.
You are taking the phonetics and making it the alphabet when there are two separate things. You have to know the phonetics to apply it to the alphabet. Without knowing the phonetics, you cannot apply it to the symbols which become the alphabet.
Yeah,
You have to know the
yeah,
phonetics first.
yeah, because
Can you come up with,
the phonetics is
and I
the
asked
sound you hear to understand the language.
Exactly. So that comes before the alphabet.
I heard you, and I asked you, can you create a different style of linguistics off of that same alphabet? You said no, and I just told you that you.
Not without knowing the phonetics. The phonetics is
Oh,
not
you
the
said,
alphabet.
yeah, but you said you couldn't do it. You said that's that
Because
alpha
I'm
stick.
trying I'm saying that you're still not getting it. You're still trying to make like you say a phonetic alphabet. You have to know the language to have a phonetic alphabet. Without knowing the sounds, you do not have a phonetic alphabet, and the sounds is the language. The phonetics is the language.
Ask you this: can you not make a new style of linguistics off the same damn alphabet? And you said no, you can't. And
If
I
I
showed you how.
do not know, if I'm not told the phonetics of the alphabet, I cannot do shit with it. It's just like the hieroglyphics. If someone was to give me Arabic, I couldn't do shit with it because I don't know the phonetics of Arabic.
Listen, did you
I
hear what I
only
said?
know the phonetics of English.
Okay, but did you hear
So
what I
everything
said?
that you give me, I'm gonna put English phonetics to it because all I know is English phonetics.
What
So it
the,
don't
but
matter what script, what symbol, whatever you do is going to be English because that's all I know. The sounds are going to be English sounds.
listen to this. Now listen to this. Nigga, you can write fucking tree. You can write tree in English. You can write words in fucking tree in English. You can write words in Spanish. You can write a Spanish language and give it English consonants, nigga. English the alphabet. You can do that with different languages.
You know the phonetics.
Different languages.
You
So
know
what did
the
you
phonetics. You know the phonetics of the
say?
other language.
Hard, dog, but you can create a
You
new language with the
know
same
the
alphabet.
phonetics of the other
I
language.
heard all of
Someone
that, but you can
someone who
create.
speaks tree and doesn't know English cannot write tree in English. They need to know what the English words mean.
I heard that, but you can create another language using the phonetic alphabet because it's based on sound. That's what I was saying. That's my original point.
And I'm telling you again, you have to be told the sounds first. The language comes before the script. Just saying that, oh, this is a phonetic alphabet, and handing someone that if you wrote A, B, you wrote the alphabet on a piece of paper and hand it to someone who don't know the language and say, this is a phonetic alphabet, they're not going to be able to speak that shit.
I hear you. I got that,
You still have
and I'm
to
not disagreeing.
sound out the phonetics for them.
That I said that they already had a language. The ancient Egyptians made a language, made a alphabet for their language, a writing system. I said that. So what is you? So what's the point? What's the problem?
Fam, it goes back to my original point. Like we went around this whole circle, which diverted from the original point. My original point was Mauritania, more, those are Latin terms. which came with the invaders. So that's not what the people originally called themselves.
But they wasn't speaking Latin. So what are you talking about,
Who you say wasn't speaking Latin? Because that's what the Romans speak.
bro? They
The
ain't
Romans
had no
speak Latin.
no. If you didn't have no motherfucking
Now
writing,
you back to this writing system thing again. What? And I'm gonna
hold
ask you again. After we just went through this shit for 30 minutes. And I'm gonna ask you again. What does a writing system have to do with the language?
system that our ancestors applied to the Roman fucking language, dog. That's what I said.
Thank
They
you.
weren't calling it Latin because they weren't civilized enough to do so. We created a construct of a writing system out of their language, and Latin came out of that writing system, bro. Case in point.
What do you mean Latin came out of that writing system? What do you mean when we put a writing system to the gibberish that was coming out of their mouths? What are you talking about?
Dude, it's just like
And Baba Williams already told you that we put a script to the shit the Greeks were speaking. They forced their gibberish on us, and we gave it a script. The same thing with the Romans. They didn't come with their own shit. They came and speaking their own gibberish, and we put a script to their shit they were speaking. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is what the fuck, nigga. We fucking created a writing system for their language. Out of that writing system.
I didn't say. But see, you keep saying we created a writing system for their language. Mauritania. I'm not talking about the damn the writing script. I'm talking about the actual word itself. It's a Latin word. I don't give a fuck who gave it the script.
Yes, we created the word,
no,
nigga.
We did not. No, we did not. So you're saying we created Greek? We created the Greek language? Did we create the Greek language?
The writing system. If you don't have a writing system,
if you don't have a writing system, what? You can't speak? You can't speak without a writing system? Are you saying you can't speak without a writing system?
What up, dog? A writing system gives you the ability to be able to define your language, dog. You know what I'm saying? Without that writing system, you don't have anything called Latin. Latin comes out of the writing.
So you're saying without a writing system. So basically, what you're saying is without a writing system, you don't have a language. That's what you're saying. Without a writing system, you don't have a language.
I didn't say that. Now, just like out of this. Hold up. Listen up.
I'm done, man. I'm done, man. I can't, man.
Out of the writing system of the phonetic alphabet, this is how we able to come up with so-called slang.
What's phonetic? What phonetic alphabet? What you need the sounds. When you keep talking about this phonetic alphabet shit, like it's some magical shit. Without the phonetics, what is a phonetic alphabet? What is the phonetic alphabet? Honestly, what is the phonetic alphabet? What is that? Because you need to know the phonetics to read the fucking alphabet. So I'm lost here.
It's a writing system, bro. So this is how you document, you know what I'm saying, events, places, people, you know what I'm saying, history, baby. This is how you get it done. So a writing system is very important. And just having a language does not give you a civilization. This is how civilization comes in. You can only have a civilization with a writing system, and this is what Baba Williams said.
So you're saying that all the civilizations like ancient Ghana, ancient Mali, Songhai, because they didn't have a writing system, those wasn't civilizations?
Oh, dude.
Is that what you're saying?
If you don't have
it's a simple yes or no question. So Songhai, Mali, all that wasn't civilization.
Listen up. Do they got writing systems? Even if they got writing systems where they carving on the wall,
they don't have no written history to the Arab invasion when they started writing in Arabic.
It got written. No, that's not fucking true. They ain't fucking true.
They have oral history until they started writing in Arabic. It's all oral history, but that's not history according to you and Baba Williams, I guess.
Hold up. When did they start writing Arabic?
I don't want to.
I know. Don't even do that.
I believe they say that it was in the early 900 AD that they adopted
Who is
One of
they?
the kings adopt. One of the kings of the Ghana Empire is either in the 9th or 10th century adopted Islam.
Come on, bruh. So you telling me, first of all, you can't give me no clear date on when they started writing so-called
No,
Arabic.
I'll have to look it up. I'll have to look it up.
Telling me before Arabic they didn't have no writing system.
They had oral tradition, oral history. They did not write things down. Most of the countries in West Africa, most of the tribes in West Africa have oral tradition, not written history. But since
Tradition.
they don't have a written history, I guess they're not considered civilizations. They're just a bunch of savages.
Oral tradition does not mean they didn't have a writing system, though. Now, when you looking at the ancient Timbuktu, you know what I'm saying? The ancient kingdoms of Songhai, I'm sure they had the
When you look at Timbuktu, all those documents in Timbuktu are in Arabic. The Timbuktu library is in Arabic.
Listen, I'm sure them people had writing systems and number systems, dog. And Arabic, we fucking created Arabic as well. That's a number writing system we created as well. It's Aramaic.
If all they have is oral tradition, you're assuming. If all they have is oral tradition, you're assuming. And which was my question that I asked a while ago. Do you consider people would just have an oral tradition, oral history, not civilized? Do they not have a history? Because it's only oral.
You're assuming that they didn't have a writing system and a number system.
Okay.
Even if they had pictorial.
I'm not assuming anything. I'm not assuming anything. I'm saying they have an oral history, which means that you're not going to find traces of none of that shit because they have an oral history. I'm telling you what they have.
How would you know this?
Because when you talk to the people, they say their history are passed on through their elders. What are you talking about?
Who and when? What documentation would you have that they had an oral history? How would you even know unless you just taking word of mouth? Because there's no fucking documents, no fucking written history to prove that they had anything.
Man, if you looking for written documents and they're telling you we don't have no written documents, everything was passed down. What I'm supposed to say? Oh, y'all niggas is lying. Y'all got some documents hidden away somewhere. I'm not supposed to believe them. I'm supposed to tell them they lying. They got some documents stashed somewhere. Come on, man.
All I'm saying is, how would you know? How would you know?
Because I'm taking the word of the people.
There you go. You taking somebody's word, so you really don't know.
I'm taking the word of people. If I'm in the fucking village and they tell me that they don't have the written documents, everything is passed down by word, I'm believe what the people tell me in the fucking village. That's what I'm gonna believe, man.
Maybe they don't have it, but at some point in time, somebody had it. But because of the destruction, things were lost and destroyed in the pillaging.
So what does that mean? Everything is based that's left to what oral tradition. If they don't have it, that means it's oral tradition. I understand the semantics you're trying to play here. If you don't got the actual documents, what do you believe on? You got to go with the oral tradition because we don't have the actual factual documents to prove it. So we believe it by oral tradition. I don't understand.
What it means is we speculating. So we could.
Who's speculating anything? You're speculating. I'm telling you that the people say they go about oral tradition. You're speculating that they don't know. Maybe they had the documents there and it was lost. You coming up with all this other shit,
bro. You can't back none of that shit up. You telling me somebody told you that they said with traditions. That doesn't mean
what up. What do I have to back up? If I'm talking to somebody and I say this person tells me they go by oral tradition, why do I have to back that up?
Listen, so there was a point in time that some of the languages that they speak there was a writing system, but some of the people don't know the writing system. I could tell you right now, for the Ga in Ghana, there's people who still write in Ga, the fucking traditional writing system. So some of the writing systems were gone and destroyed. Even Dr. Cambone, he writes in Tree. So the writing systems are there. So to say they only got an oral history, it doesn't add up, because you're dealing with a people who've ordinarily have had a language and a writing system to go with the language. Most Africans always had writing systems, dude. You're not gonna really find just no niggas talking.
No. So you're telling me. So you're gonna sit here and say, fam. and this is really starting to stress me because I know as a fact when I talk to the people that I deal with on the continent from Ghana, they talk a lot about their oral tradition.
Okay, man.
A writing system and all that is irrelevant to their oral tradition that they're talking about that you don't have a written history on.
It's not a brother.
Why am I going to sit there and tell my queen to try to prove this shit? She's telling me through her oral tradition from her grandmother. This is what went down. I was like, oh no, y'all definitely got documents on that. What are you talking about?
About proving any fucking
You
thing.
you just said I gotta prove I gotta prove something. I don't gotta prove anything. If I'm being told this is their oral tradition passed down from her grandmother that her grandmother told her, I'm not gonna argue with her or question that. That's your oral tradition.
Can't argue nothing. What I'm telling you is I've talked to elders there and my queens there, nigga, and they had writing systems, my nigga, through colonialism.
I did not say they don't have a writing system.
Through colonialism and invaders coming in, destabilizing, their writing systems were lost. Some people still write in some of the indigenous languages and tongues, bro. Most African cultures, if they have a language, they have a writing system for the language, my nigga. This is how we move. This is why we able to create alphabets for other motherfuckers' languages. Wouldn't that click in your dome piece? So if you have a particular period where we have lost some of our
at what point
hold up
in this conversation, no, I have to say because you're putting words, you're presupposing shit on me that at what point in this conversation did I say that the people in West Africa didn't know how to write? At what point did I say that?
Hold up.
Because the point that you're making is not, it doesn't even apply to me because you're making it seem that I said these people didn't know how to write.
So
they said they were illiterate people. I said they don't have a written history. Their written history is lost. They only have oral tradition. That's what I said. They don't have a written history. They have oral tradition. I didn't say they couldn't write.
Oh, I didn't say.
So all you saying is that these people could write on that. That has nothing to do with their oral tradition.
Listen, man. What I'm telling you is this: when you going and looking back, those periods where you finding where they not writing down, don't have documentation of different historical records of things that went on, a lot of that is from the loss of some of their culture through invasion, man. And you will get oral traditions.
All that was mentioned. The cause of it is irrelevant. My question was, you have a lot of tribes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because my question was, the tribes, a lot of these tribes in the West do not have history. They only have oral tradition. So are you saying that they don't have a civilization because all they have left to them tradition? It has to, being that they was invaded and all their shit was lost, doesn't remove the fact that all they have left is oral tradition. That doesn't remove that fact.
Okay, I hear that, and I'm telling you that the oral traditions, a lot of that shit does have writing systems, and they have writing systems at some point in time. But bro, no Africans is just walking.
That is an assumption. That is an assumption because if it's lost,
assumption. That's if you look at it's better. You
cannot get validate it. That's why it is assumption. It could listen, fam. It could be a very strong, but because the documents was lost.
If we're creating writing systems for foreigners' languages, why the fuck wouldn't we be able to do it for our goddamn self when we created the fucking language?
Because
that don't even make
proven. It cannot be proven. That's why. Due to the fact that the documents are lost, it cannot be proven.
We did it for the Greeks. We did it for the Romans. What else you need to know? So if we had a fucking language, we had a writing system to go with the shit. Period. Point blank.
I didn't say that.
Dude.
When did I say that that the people in the West? I'm gonna ask you again. When did I say that people in the West wasn't writing?
Maybe you didn't, but I'm clarifying
what
it
I'm
for the
people. We do not have any proof that they wrote down their history. Even Baba Williams tells you that the Egyptians only had an oral history. We did not write down our history. That's what I'm trying to figure out, how is this being lost? If Baba
How
Williams
you
can
figure
tell you,
when you go to the motherfucking temples
okay,
over
okay,
there?
let's do this slow. Let's do this slow
Hold up, hold
because
up.
you said it you said it yourself
Temples in
out
ancient
of your own
Egypt.
mouth.
What do you think that is? What do you think that is on them walls over there?
I don't know what it is because according to Baba Williams, we cannot read it because that's symbolic. So we can't read
Okay,
it. So we don't know what it is.
hold up, though, hold up. Even though it's symbolic, it's still documentation.
But we
Symbolic
don't know.
documentation that somebody
But we don't know. We don't know if it's their history, if it's religious shit. We don't know what it is. We can't say that this is their history written on the walls because we don't know.
there's evidence of a culture there, though. Regardless if you can read it or not,
That is not a written history.
Listen,
You're jumping all over the place. You can see the cultures in the West by what's left there. That is not a written history. And if I'm correct, you said, if I'm correct, you said about an hour ago that according to Baba Williams, the Egyptians did not write down their history. So the chronology is all off because all that shit was written by the invaders when they came in. The Egyptians only had an oral history. Am I right? Did you say that?
No, I ain't say the Egyptians only had no oral history. I
You
said
didn't say all the chronology and all that shit that we get about the invasion, all that shit came from the Romans, all that. You didn't say that?
you go. I said that the Egyptians never kept a chronology of themselves. So for all of these wars and all of that shit is a lot of it's European speculation. Now they did document some of their culture, and you can see that shit on the walls of the ancient temples, dog. Now, whether you can break down and decipher every little thing that they put up there, maybe you can't. But some of the symbolic nature of some of the pictorials, the metal net. I mean, you can look at it and you can just you can see the lotus plant. You can see that shit. You can see a fucking elephant. You might be able to see, you can see that shit. You know what I'm saying? So they were documenting phenomenon going on around them. So you don't have to be
That's
able
not
to
a writing system, though. We're talking about writing. You're mixing things,
hold up.
seeing things.
No. You're not. Now,
Yeah, we are
it's a
because
writing.
we're talking about writing, and now you're going to pictures and all that, where you can see little scribblings all over the world.
Yeah, that shit still have to be it has to be produced, bro. That's still symbolic nature of a people documenting, writing down certain shit. It may not be in the form of English and all of that shit. It's still documentation,
Man,
bro.
you had Neanderthals drawing shit on fucking walls, nigga. That doesn't mean it's a writing system.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
You
that.
just said you can see a lotus plant, you can see an elephant. Those are pictures. You had all type of cultures doing that shit on the wall. That's not a writing system.
Okay. Now, for a person to be able to construct those types of images in stone like that, you would already have to know you dealing with a person of high articulate manner, because if you could not create those type of symbolic entities without having some type of skills, bro. It's just like the pyramids. We don't have to look. You might
Man,
not understand. Hold
I'm
up,
gonna
hold
say,
up, hold up.
did you hear what I said?
Hold up. You might not understand what those particular architectural structures represent and stand for, but you can look at the skill behind the construction of those elements and tell you were dealing with a people of high civilization, dude. And I ain't saying nothing about no writing system. These are just when you got evidence of you know what I'm saying, a person's existence. It's a difference between a motherfucker leaving dung piles and somebody leaving fucking 70-story pyramids in this bitch. You dealing with high civilization, and you could tell that you're dealing with a person who's dealing with high development, man. And those things fucking.
I don't think you fully listen to what I say.
Heard you, man. You
And I think that no, I'm not. I don't nitpick there. I stay strictly to
everywhere.
the point. I don't dance around. I don't go all over the place. I stay
I know how you
specific to the point. Now you went from talking about a lotus plant and elephants to talking about the pyramids and high technical structures, which are two totally different things.
Exactly.
Because anybody can draw a picture of an elephant on a fucking wall.
Bro, to
That's
chisel
why I
that
said you have
shit, to chisel
pictures
that
of
shit,
animals and shit on walls.
to
And
chisel
the
that shit in
Neanderthals drew
stone,
pictures of
bro,
animals and shit on the
bro,
walls. You know
bro.
what I'm saying? So it's like you going all over the place trying to prove that we had a high civilization, but that's not what's in question.
No, I'm not going over the place. I'm simply stating to you, you're dealing with a high civilization. We had languages. With those languages, we had writing systems. So
Fam, you saying you're not going all over the place, but I was in Mauritania and Rome. You got me in Egypt, West Africa, all over the place. I was talking about how Mauritania is Latin and it came from the Romans. You don't want to agree with that. You want to say that somehow we created Latin.
bro, the Romans did.
Well, I don't see how we created Latin. I don't see how we did that.
Bro, because
if we just gave these people a script, I don't see how we created their language. I don't see how.
Because we created a writing system for the Romans. Out of the writing system came Latin. Just like out of the
So we created Greek too, right? So we created Greek too, right?
Listen, just like
Greek is our creation too, right?
Look, just like out of the motherfucking phonetic alphabet, you get niggas is creating slang.
What is the phonetic alphabet? What phonetic alphabet are you talking about? You
show
keep saying
you
out of the phonetic alphabet. What phonetic alphabet?
I'm going to show you out of different writing systems that we create, we can make up different linguistic styles of communication, dog. Period.
Did we create Greek? Did we create Greek?
Real simple.
Did we create Greek?
We probably, I ain't talking about creating Greek. We fucking put an alphabet today.
Did we? No. Did we create the Greek language? It's a simple yes or no question. Did we create the Greek language?
We gave them a writing system.
Yes or no?
Writing system. We probably
no. No. See, that's what I mean by you going all over the place.
I'm not even going all the way there.
I asked you a specific question. You jumped to something else. I was very specific. Did we create the Greek language?
I just told you we did not.
Okay, so how did we create the Latin language?
Listen. First
if we did create the Greek language, how did we create the Latin language? How?
First of all,
we did the same thing with the Greeks that we did with the Romans. How do we do that?
Listen. I said we created a writing system for the fucking Romans. Out of that writing system came Latin, is what I said.
So what? So okay. So what was the language? What was the language? I feel no. Because I need to get this understanding here. So what was the language that we created the script for that the Romans were speaking? What were they speaking that we gave them the script for?
Whatever the fuck they was speaking, dog. But like I was telling you, only a civilized people.
Whatever they were speaking, really. It's like you did. It's like you want. I feel like you want to be right so bad that you're not even acknowledging what you're saying. So, but you don't know what. So we put a script.
People were speaking. So, I didn't know what these people were.
Okay. So
what's that got to do with anything?
Because you don't know what they were speaking. So how did the script that we gave them to the language that they were speaking become Latin?
I said out of the writing system, dude.
And I'm asking you how. I'm asking you how.
Listen,
I'm asking how because they were speaking something. We gave them a script, and then they started speaking Latin.
I heard you.
I'm asking how.
Okay, I heard you. Listen up. Just like out of the fucking phonetic alphabet, nigga, we got fucking ebonics and slang, my nigga. That's how.
What phonetic alphabet? I don't know what phonetic alphabet are you talking about?
Out of the fucking A to Z, nigga. You got slang. You got niggas flipping that shit, creating their own words, my nigga. So you can take any out of fucking.
Okay. Now let me ask you this.
Hold up. Let me finish my point.
You just fucked up
So
too.
just like now, if we apply a fucking writing system to what the fucking Romans was doing, out of that you can get Latin, you can get some other, you can get whatever the fuck you want. When you thorough, you can get this shit.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Now you understand it? You got it?
Nah, I don't. You fucked up too, and I will show you how. Let me ask you this: when niggas is speaking slang, right? Are they speaking English?
They speaking whatever the fuck they want to speak, bruh. Period.
That's the semantics. That's the semantics. That's the semantics because you just don't want to admit it. When niggas is in the hood talking slang, when I'm talking to my niggas in the hood, we are speaking English. We're using our own words, doing our own flip and twist, but we are still speaking English.
Listen, now I can go with the phonetic alphabet. I can say Madasi, right? I can use the phonetic alphabet to spell out Madasi, which means thank you in tree. All right, MADASSI. Okay, now got me a new motherfucking word, and it's a tree. It's a Ghanaian word. I just spelled it out with the phonetic alphabet. So this is tree now, nigga. It's written with the phonetic alphabet. So now what?
When niggas are speaking slang, what are they speaking?
Fuck out of here with that shit, bro.
Because you don't want to admit it. When niggas are speaking slang, they are still speaking English. You took that tree word and you put it into what? And you put it into what? And what did you put it into? What did you put it into? What did you when you
phonetic alphabet, my nigga?
No, you did not. You wrote it out in what? You wrote it out in a specific alphabet.
Baby
no,
boy.
No, you did not. You wrote it. No, you did not. No, you did not. You wrote it out in the English alphabet. You wrote it out in the English alphabet.
Calling it the English alphabet. It's the phonetic alphabet, boy.
There's no such thing.
It is such thing. It's alphabet based on fucking sound. Phonetic sound.
Bam. If you wrote that out and you gave it to a Chinese person, they're not gonna know what the hell you're talking about. And that Chinese person got phonetics. And that Chinese person got phonetics. They use phonetics to speak.
Worried about that, man.
So that's why what you're saying is not making any sense. You're trying to stress this phonetic.
I wrote it
Use a sound, but those sounds are specific.
It's called the phonetic alphabet.
If you take that MADSSA whatever, and you take it to Russia, they're not gonna know what that shit says, or they may say some other shit because they use different phonetics for their language. That's why it has a specific distinction. Just like the phonetics that you're using right now has a specific distinction for the sounds that you are using. You speak English. If you was in Russia using your phonetics, they wouldn't understand the sounds coming out of your mouth because they use a different phonetics called Russian. You gotta be specific.
It's a phonetic alphabet. You can make whatever the fuck you want out of it as long as you know the sounds. You know what letters to fucking use.
Whatever, man. Exactly. Whatever, man. Whatever, man.
Exactly, bruh.
Whatever.
Exactly. It's the phonetic. It's based on sound. What you want me to tell you? There it is. Now back to some liberation shit, bruh. Cause you on that bullshit, and I love you. I ain't going all that shit tonight.
I'm not on no bullshit, fam. I can't deal with the semantics and shit. And niggas can't admit that they wrong.
For you, B. Ain't nothing I can
do. You didn't break anything. Now I just realized that when you realize that you wrong, you say you don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Cause so you gonna keep.
How can I have a conversation with someone when they realize that what they're saying doesn't make any sense? You say, "Well, I don't give a fuck." I can't converse with that.
One scenario to the next. I can't keep going back and forth with you. Like you gonna go, okay? What about this?
How I'm going? Nick, you sat there and said that you told me that the dudes in the hood are not speaking English. It's slang. Like slang is not English. I mean, come on.
It is whatever the fuck we want it to motherfucking be, bruh. You classifying it as English. You trying to classify shit.
Right.
And that's what I said. When you look at language, bro, it's only a form of communication for the most part, especially when you're dealing with fucking so-called English.
That has classifications because of the groups that understand the language. But you want to put us in our own classification for your own specific purpose, as if niggas in the hood ain't speaking English.
You an example. Again, you said we speaking so-called English, right? So that means any motherfucker who knows English should know what the fuck we talking about, right?
No.
Right? No. So what the fuck you talking about then? Nigga, we ain't speaking English then. Because if a motherfucker who speaks English don't understand me, then I must be speaking some other shit, right?
No.
Phonetics, my nigga. If we speak English, if we speak in English and I'm using English, right? But a motherfucker who speaks English don't know what the fuck I'm saying. How the fuck is I'm speaking English?
Not knowing the definition of a word.
Man, fuck out of here.
Not understanding when lawyers talking and we don't understand that lawyer jargon, they're not speaking English as well.
No.
We just don't understand what the fuck they're talking about.
No, that's what I'm talking.
Come on, man.
Talk about that.
Come on. What do you mean? No. What's the difference? What is the difference between a lawyer's jargon or a doctor's jargon and niggas talking in the hood? What's the difference?
It's supposed to be written in so-called Latin anyway.
Ibuprofen isn't Latin. Ibuprofen is fucking ibuprofen, nigga. That's not Latin.
Listen, man. The bottom line is
you just semantics.
Listen,
and there is no difference.
We speaking so-called English, right? But yet, if I start dropping jewels to motherfuckers, if I start dropping jewels to motherfuckers in so-called English, who's an English person who speaks English, he wouldn't know what the fuck I was talking about. So then how the fuck am I speaking English if this person's a traditional English person and I'm so-called speaking English and they have no clue what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna ask you again.
I'm gonna
ask you again. When a lawyer starts talking to you and that lawyer starts speaking his lawyer jargon and you don't fully understand, isn't he speaking English?
Hold up, listen. I must not be
same thing, just different scenario.
No, I must not be speaking English then. If a motherfucker who's fluent in English talks to me and I start breaking down shit in English and they don't understand me, they're gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because I'm not speaking English at that point, bruh. I'm rocking it the way I want to rock it. I'm doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
You don't want to be wrong. So here you go with another. Now we going to
it's not about me. It's the same scenario. It's the same scenario you presenting. Just like you present a nigga in the hood, I present a lawyer talking. It's the same thing. It's the same scenario. It's like you don't understand.
Hold up. First of all, a lot of that legal jargon is written in so-called Latin, but actually a nigga thorough, you can understand once you study that shit long enough that you can understand.
And once you're regular, how many crackers grew up in the hood? How many crackers grew up in the hood and understand how niggas talk? Come on, man. Come on.
Hold up.
You use all semantics.
What the fuck they saying though?
How many police study niggas and know all the jargon, all the slang? They do that now. They listen to all the music and all that. They study us. They know the jargon and the slang. So what are you talking about? It's the same thing.
They don't, nigga. Guess what they gotta do? They gotta go get some sorry ass nigga to translate this shit. Oh, he meant this when he said this. This is what he meant.
Fam, you got a lot of white boys sitting and listening to the hip hop and indulging themselves in the hip hop culture so they could know the slang. What are you talking about, man?
What, nigga? They needed somebody at some point in time. They needed a trans fucking later, nigga. Hands down. You know it and I know it, and that's the difference. So you can take a writing system from a particular.
They got stupid niggas. They got stupid niggas putting out shit like Urban Dictionaries and like where they got one, so they know what niggas is talking about.
Translate shit though. Period. Point blank. It had to be translated. This means this. This means that. Even though you so-called speaking English, because guess what? You could take a motherfucker's writing system and create a whole new linguistic format to this shit.
You're not creating a new linguistic format. You're still speaking the same linguistics. You just put a different meaning to the word. You're not changing the linguistics.
Talking
The
about,
linguistics hasn't changed.
bruh. If a motherfucker who speaks fluently this language don't understand what you're talking about, nigga, they got this is a new form of this is a new language, my nigga.
The linguistics of the language has not changed.
Language, it's a new way to communicate, my nigga. So if I go somewhere and I don't speak the way they speak, guess what? Somebody got to translate that shit for me, bruh.
Has the sound does the niggas in the hood change the
And it's
sound of
real.
the
It's not hard.
when niggas say I gotta get that cheddar, right? Are they changing the sound of the word cheddar? Or is it the same sound?
Dude, the Africans create writing systems, my nigga. Most groups don't do that.
I'm not talking. See, that's what I mean. I'm not talking. I'm asking about a sound.
I'm talking about that shit.
I say something about a sound, and you jump to some other shit.
Nah, man, you ain't going nowhere with this shit though. Where you going with it?
Yeah, I'm not because you use words and you're not using the words correctly. That's why you got me all fucked up because you say shit and you're not saying the shit right. I don't know what the fuck you talking about because you're not using the words right. I can't follow you.
I know you can't follow me because you're not looking for no raw truth. You trying to prove your point. You trying to prove your point.
I'm not seeing any raw truth in what you're saying.
I know you not because you trying to prove your point. What I'm saying doesn't coincide with.
I'm not trying to. It's not about proving the point.
You is. What is
you're telling me that alphabets are phonetic and not the language and shit. And there's no raw truth in that. That's just totally wrong.
My nigga, you could take a writing system if you thorough and you can apply a new linguistic construct to it. Hands down.
You can apply any sound to a writing system. But that is not. But you have to have the sounds already.
You telling me that we're speaking English, but I can go and I can speak this particular style to a person who speaks English and they have no clue what I'm saying. So am I really speaking English? No, you're not, because these motherfuckers can understand you with their so-called own English language, which we created anyway because we came up with the phonetic alphabet. Even with the music is a language, bro.
We ain't create this bastard fucked up language, nigga. They create this bastard fucked up shit. We ain't create this shit.
Bro, the notes that go to music, ancient Egyptians, man. We created the phonetic alphabet, bro. This is where you get these different languages. This is where you get the writing systems for these different languages. We a thorough motherfucker. This is what we do. But like I'm telling you, like I told you before, we could take an alphabet and create a new linguistic construct to the motherfucker.
I know we did a lot in this world, but we did not create or make every single thing on this planet.
I didn't say that, dog.
These Europeans have
what I say
developed their own fucked up shit
systems, though. We created writing.
They developed their own fucked up systems out of ours. They developed their own fucked up systems out of ours. We did not create every single thing.
Let me ask you this: what people came up with the first writing systems known to humanity?
We already know that, but we didn't create all the writing systems.
Who is that? I don't know. I forgot. Who is that?
But I forgot too. Then, since you want to play dumb, I forgot too.
My nigga, so we created writing systems. Anything else to come up off of that?
Creating the first writing systems, we created them all.
Anything we created the first writing system. Anything else is pretty much just a carbon copy. You can only have it. It's only one original, dog. It's only one original.
So you're trying to say that nothing can spin off of anything else. No one can spin off and do their own thing off of what someone else is doing. That's what you're saying? I mean, I'm not trying to give the European no props, nothing like that. I'm just trying to be real about this. We did not do every fucking thing.
Listen what I'm saying. We created the original writing systems. Now,
Did
anything
we
else,
create? Did we create every? Did we create every writing system on the planet? Did we create every writing system on the planet?
listen to what I'm saying.
Because
We
you're not
uh,
being real.
listen, big. Listen what I'm saying.
You
We
on
was the,
you on some romanticizing shit. I feel like right now you're not being real.
listen. We gave birth to the first writing system, dog. We the originators of that shit. Everything that came off of that is just a carbon copy, bro. We the prototype. We the original motherfucker that did it. It ain't nothing else to even go back over with. Everything else, nigga. You can only make the car one time. The first nigga made the car, that nigga invented. Well, I made a van, I made a truck. Okay, all of those are variations of the motherfucking first automobile, dog. That's it.
So we should disregard where the car is at now to where the Model T was when it first was made.
Bruh, all I'm telling you is it's only one original, my nigga. And you listening to it,
So
right?
so 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 so, so the nigga who made the Benz shouldn't get no credit. Just the nigga who
Bro,
made the Model T should get the credit. I'm just
saying
asking a question.
you can only create shit can only be made one time.
You're not answering my question. You know that, right?
Prototype, baby boy. If
You're
really
not
I went
you're
beyond,
not answering my question.
I'm hitting you with a jewel and shit,
No,
but
you're
here you
not.
come with
No, you're
shit.
not. No, you're
Here
not.
you
No, you're not.
But it's all good though. But I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't want to hog up all the.
So
Hit me with some heavyweight shit, man. Hit me with some shit that's tangible for the people, man. Cause we wasting a lot of time back and forth pity pat. I could have called you up on the solo and did this because I know how you gets down. So now what's up?
I just like to get to the truth, man. I don't play with all the semantics. I don't glorify shit.
What do about this beast and our peoples and get our peoples whipped in shape, man? What you recommend we do? You know what I'm saying? Get this liberation taken care of. First things on the simple steps, bro. Just a
Niggas
couple
gotta take
simple,
care of their own. Niggas gotta take care of their own backyard.
no question. As
You
far
if
as
you're
what?
not if you're not if you're not building in your home within those right around you, I mean you wasting time. 'Cause that's your immediate surroundings. So people
What
need to
about
focus. We need
what
to
about
focus on building tight networks with those right around us.
what would you say about a situation where maybe you no longer with the child's mother? You know what I'm saying? The child's mother is, or the child's mother is no longer with the child's father, and you know what I'm saying? Um, there's conflict between those two entities, and either or being able to have, you know what I'm saying, that type of hands on with the child or with the children.
That's a difficult situation because the time that is given, you don't want to all be on building with the child. You want to enjoy that time as well. So that makes it kind of difficult. But the best that only thing I can suggest is to try to do the best you can. Try to find the best way to build with the child as much as you can, as well as enjoy your time with. 'Em. But until being that there's no real relationship with the mother, it's hard because I mean I would even try to just try to find a way to get on some type of common ground at least with the mother for the sake of the child, so you can instill things that you feel you need to instill with the child. They may come at making some sacrifices, maybe humbling yourself to a bit that you normally wouldn't have just for the sake of the child. So you can get that proper time to instill in the child what you feel you need to instill in. I mean, sometimes you got to look at the bigger picture and, take some L's on the surface, but you taking that L on the surface for the betterment of your child.
Oh
But
shit.
everyone's situation is different though. So you know what I'm saying. It's never
You dropped the jewel right there though. You basically saying humble you have to humble yourself and maybe eat a little, you know what I mean, have to go through some things or do some things that normally you
yeah.
personally not do, but for the benefit of the child and either for the benefit of the other parent, let them seem like they might be in a position of control or what have you in order to be able to kind of give the situation some type of balance. Because basically
Exactly.
for y'all on some resistance. If she acting crazy or he acting crazy, and you respond, it's just gonna create a worse scenario. So sometimes I feel you. That was a jewel drop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
So
you give them the impression that they winning, that they in control, because in reality, all you want is to spend time with your child anyway, child. So all the other shit just becomes semantics. It's bullshit in reality. You know what I'm saying? It's
no,
like, you know, I could argue with you on, oh, I was with that bitch and all this. I could argue with you about that shit for days, but the reality of it is, I just want to spend time with my child. So whatever. Oh, you want me to do that? Okay, whatever. I could pick up my daughter. And you want that done? It's done. Just make sure she's ready at 8. I'll be there at 8. That'll be done. You know what I'm saying? And you getting what you want out of it. And a lot of times, as time goes on, things start to get easier. You don't gotta do as much. You don't gotta kiss ass as much. You know what I'm saying?
no question. I want to
And
give
then
it.
sometimes you do.
Okay.
I
I
mean,
just
sometimes because like I said, it all depends on the person.
go ahead. I just want to give a little shout to them queens out there that be holding the line. You know what I'm saying? Keeping things always in order for the best betterment of the child. You know what I'm saying? I know that shit don't be easy. Sometimes you got deadbeat ass, weak brothers or brothers that's kind of messed up, caught up, mind fucked up, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But them sisters that be holding the line for the babies, man. I think that's kind of like it's an under you know what I mean? A lot of motherfuckers don't get that love and respect for the sisters that be holding that line, man. Even with you know what I mean, trying to do what's best for the child and shit. Cause the system is real wicked, man. Trying to give one parent dominion over a child that both of us, you know what I'm saying, brought into the world. So they setting it up to give, and it don't be her fault all the time, but they be setting it up, giving her, knowing that, she might be a little more emotional. They can manipulate her maybe. So they like set it up to give her dominion, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't need the man, whatnot. But I just respect the sisters who don't get caught into that. And I love my sisters that do get caught up sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But the ones who be seeing through that, holding the line, even when the man necessarily ain't even really doing what the fuck he supposed to do, but you try to create that dynamic where they still have some type of access to the dad, you know what I'm saying, to the father or what have you. Cause that shit ain't no easy, easy bout, man. Especially when they be out here
Um,
struggling, you know what I'm saying? So I respect that
I
shit.
mean, I don't approve of hampering the child by denying access to one of the parents, unless one of the parents is just detrimental to the child.
No
Like the
doubt.
parent, on drugs out there all fucked up, then I can understand why you don't really want the child in that environment. But if it's just, the relationship didn't work out, y'all have some personal issues or whatever, I don't feel that it's appropriate to deny the child access to either parent on those grounds, on some spiteful, oh, you want to be with that chick or you cheating on me, so I ain't gonna let you see your child. I don't think that's appropriate. I can't approve of that in any way. You know what I mean? Because that technically has nothing to do with the child. And in the long run, you're hurting the child, not the parent.
No doubt.
But then I
Well,
think, so we all got to do better as a whole to maintain the family structure, even if we're not in the committed relationship. We still, as a whole, need to realize that the family comes first. And with the family coming first, that means one partner can't be struggling, especially in a partner that has the child. If that partner is struggling, then that means the child is struggling. And that's not being correct to the family. You know what I mean?
no doubt. That's 100. And that's the beautiful jewel that was dropped because, like you saying, that family, like you was saying, taking care of that primary unit. The family is the first, you know what I'm saying? That's that first tool for liberating the you know what I mean the nation starts, like you said, right within the confines of your own home. So that's just that real solid shit.
Child. It's man, woman, and child for a reason. That's where it all starts. That's the foundation.
And it's funny that you saying that because that is the main that's the main entity under attack from the system, is to break down the family structure. Once they do that, and they get everybody on an individual move, then I mean, that's pretty much the beginning and end. Once they break down the relationship between the man and the woman and the child, it's over with. After that, you basically, you know what I mean,
The
you
bigger
got you.
thing is this: we know that that's their mode of attack. I mean, our elders spoke upon that endlessly, how they're destroying the family structure, breaking down the family. Then with their gay agenda, that's the further deterioration of the family and the future families by not having us want to procreate and be together. What do we do to combat that? What do we do? How do we instill in these generations coming up that they need to hold on to that family structure and build up a strong family unit? How do we get them out of the my girlfriend got a girlfriend mentality and into the man, woman, and child mentality?
You asking me that?
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting the question out there.
No doubt. Backtrack just a little bit before you said the last piece you said, like, was the initial part of the question. I just missed it.
So how do we get the mentality of our youth back into the man, woman, and child, and not in that my girlfriend got a girlfriend, and you know what I'm saying, the gay agenda and all the other fuckery that they got to deal with. How do we instill in them that family structure? The man, woman, and child is the foundation that we need to strive for.
No doubt. I'll probably say like the first move, because the thing is really fucked up is that a lot of times you have good children out here that be going into fucked up living situations, so you can only have so much access to them on a daily. But what I try to do personally, like you said, I try to first set the tone within my own family. But I think as especially when they young, like, what I mean, you have to lay that groundwork where you let the youth know, especially the children, like, always let my daughter know her cultural identity along with, what I'm saying, her gender identity, not like you just a woman, like you a African queen, you know what I'm saying? So with that, an African queen is only supposed to have an African king. So not only are you supposed to have your male counterpart, but your male counterpart is supposed to be, what I'm saying, a supreme, the supreme man, you know what I'm saying, original man and shit. You're not supposed to even uh, 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 think that you could allow yourself to coexist with someone outside of your own ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but doing that shit from like when they real little, you know what I'm saying, giving them a sense of like what I'm saying, racial pride and being a female, as well as what I'm saying, giving them small bits and pieces on um what I'm saying, seeing me with they, if I'm not with their mother, or seeing me with another, what I'm saying, my counterpart, my female counterpart, seeing that interaction, like that
You
love.
think that's enough to combat the Nicki Minaj's and Katy Perry's and all the bullshit that they bombarded with?
I mean, in a sense of, I mean, since we don't have our own necessarily mediums, then you have to really make sure you monitoring the nature of content that you allowing to come through the especially your own personal what I'm saying, your own personal situation, your living situation. But outside of that, when I step out here, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like, I don't know, I'll be peeping out the youth, especially the little young females. Like, a lot of times they just be wanting some attention. So sometimes, you might, I mean, I try to be like, how y'all doing, sisters, whatnot, and then give them a little attention, and then try to drop a jewel on them as to be, um, let them know, look, y'all beautiful sisters, y'all don't have to, what I'm saying, do anything to compromise yourself in order to get attention. Like the other night, I was in the store. Like I seen a couple young sisters. They had like pretty much like the Daisy Dukes on and shit. Like cheeks almost out at the bottom. You could see the little silhouette. You know what I'm saying, of the cheeks. And I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying. And I'm like, I ain't passed no judgment on them. I'm just like, what I'm saying, a lot of them be thinking that that shit is, something to be doing. But I would also say too that more sisters gotta probably, the sisters probably need to do more with the sisters, the young girls, and then the male warriors, the men need to do a little bit more, taking the young G's underneath they wing. And even if they ain't your seeds per se, but if you got time, like Brother Born, he do just being out in the community, whatnot. That'll be my first line of defense. But also, like I said, what I'm saying, when you out in public with your significant other, whether it be your girlfriend, wifey, whatever, to be able to show how, what I'm saying, display the treatment and display the interaction, what I'm saying, brothers and sisters are supposed to be treating each other, rocking with each other. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I was definitely gonna say that they need to see it more often. Seeing brothers with their queens and their little ones, out and about together as a unit. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. You know what I mean? Then like,
I think they need to get more,
yeah, boxing.
more group interactions with the youth. Try to give them a different perspective because we definitely gotta be more hands on with this, digital generation. They got access to so much.
And
So
I would, no doubt. Like a lot
so
of
we
times I
definitely
the youth now, man. So a lot of times I see the older cats, man, like they don't even engage the youth. Like they'll see them and just kind of like walk right past them. I'm like, dude, what type of example? I'm like, what kind of
well,
example?
I think a lot of that is going. They don't have no. I don't want to say it's respect for the youth. They just don't care. A lot of people are so caught up in their own individualism and what they gotta do with all about themselves that they don't care. They're not worried about the youth. It's only those that are really about this work, trying to do something that will acknowledge the youth, that will see the youth. Everyone else is about themselves. They worrying about, what the fuck they got going. They don't want to be bothered.
No doubt. It's almost like they scared though, you know what I'm saying? Because the narrative that the media is putting out there is one that almost kind of like, you know what I'm saying? If you're not necessarily in tune with the youth, you become fearful to them a little bit. And sometimes, I even find myself, sometimes I'm moving, if it's late or whatever, I might see a young cat, little hoodie on, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just coming from the, out of the urban element, you know what I'm saying? You might take a hold up. But then, as long as, that's just street smarts, but at the same time, I think some of the propaganda
Mm,
that they put out kind of starts to wear on the mentals. Even like, you know,
but
it's
see,
funny because, huh?
my thing with that is, and this is what I know from when I was growing. You know what I'm saying? You always had your people who knew everybody in the hood. So the old ladies, the older ladies, that will come through. They wasn't worried about seeing a bunch of niggas in front of the building because they knew all. They'll come by. Oh, y'all keep the noise down. Y'all do this. Y'all do that. Blah blah blah. Then go upstairs all about the business because there was that interaction with with everybody. So even though you knew so and so was bad, so and so was a troublemaker or whatever, the parents themselves wasn't actually scared or intimidated because they knew him. We don't have that interaction, that neighborly interaction where everyone knows each other's kids. So you know if someone's doing something wrong, who to get at, who to hold accountable, and we don't allow that interaction anymore. We're more like, oh, don't say nothing about my kid, don't talk to my child. We're so defensive that we don't allow that community interaction, that the village raising the child anymore. And that's one of the differences that I see. We don't have that interaction. I mean, think about it. When you didn't the people in your hood when you was growing up, they knew everybody.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Everybody, even if you know so, you knew such and such might have been a little neighborhood drunk or whatever, whatnot. But like you said, yeah, everybody was well acquainted. You actually had a community at those times.
Exactly.
Now,
Now you don't have that.
yeah,
A further deterioration of the family because that was the extended family that first got broken down. So now you don't have that extended hand that everybody looking out for each other like they used to.
you know what else was crossing my mind? Um, you remember that post I told you to watch about that CERN,
Yeah.
about them manipulating the dimensions and what have you?
Uh-huh.
He was saying about where the they could take the molecular structure of an atom, break it down, and get into, what I'm saying, the most like smallest parts of the particular atom. And him saying that was saying they can recreate your reality by doing that. And then I thought about that today. I was watching, like, there was a youngster was coming up the street, like a young chick, and then they was like, what I'm saying, like walking in the street and shit. And it's like, I'm like, all right, still just a young sister, really. They lost, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude was saying how you could look at a book, read the page on the book has this particular print, but in your mind, you basically could be reading something else. So I was like, some of the perception of our people today is almost like a manipulated reality. You know what I'm saying? We be seeing our people either in person or on TV or what have you. We looking at them from the outside, but on the inside of their mind, they could just as well be basically like almost getting ran by remote control. You know what I'm saying? With that type of technology that they got now, they can almost basically construct a psychological pattern for an individual at this point. If they're probably already, I know they probably already doing it, but just thinking about that, it's like, damn. So somebody could basically be making me think whatever the fuck they wanted me to think.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
know
saying?
if I don't know the extent if CERN got those capabilities, but I do know that this dude, I was checking the back check to see if I posted that video. Back check. I'm gonna have to go back and grab the video. But this dude got a patent. He has 10 patents. He used to work for Navy intelligence and shit. And his last patent he made was a patent where he can control people's emotions and shit through the monitors, TV screens, and things of that nature. How they can send certain signals through your monitors or the computer monitors or your TV screen and get people to react a certain way. And it was like after he that was the last patent he made. After he made that patent to make a fucking just stop working and shit. Started doing some other shit. Became religious. Some other shit.
No doubt. And the shit makes sense too when you think about it. Like, like you know what I'm saying, with some of the shit some of the youth be doing, man. Like, you know, they might do some dirt and get on Facebook and all that shit. Like a person in their right mind, you know what I'm saying? I see you throw out the link in here though. I mean, you like,
Yeah, I just dropped that shit.
no doubt. Person in their right mind would not even, that's behavior that's anti survival. Like, why would you go on YouTube or why would you go on Facebook after you just handle some business and be like, yeah, we over here, look at this, look at that. So then when you look at some of them behaviors, it could just as well be under some type of mind control. You know what I'm saying?
That, but you know what? Know what that brings to my mind. Did you watch that obsolete documentary?
Obsolete. Nah, I mean I might have. I don't remember it under that
And it was
particular.
it was posted in the group. Maybe I think last week. It was posted in there twice. But
What's it about?
I may have to post that shit again. It's basically about it covers a lot of shit, but it's talking about how the technological revolution, how basically humans is about to be obsolete and shit. How they got the androids coming in and all this bullshit.
I did see
But
that. I did. I saw that. I saw that.
the shit. Did you remember the part where they was talking about that housing experiment that they did with the rats and what they did with the
Right.
people in that housing complex?
Uh-huh.
And you remember how they were saying that how the rats was all vain. They was just worried about how they looked and impressive and all that bullshit.
Uh-huh.
People today, how they stuck sucking the government titty and all that, and how they weren't worried about how they look, getting their name out there and all that, but not really doing no real work.
No question. Yeah, that was kind of scary. Like that kind of left it. I was like, damn. Because basically they took it from the rats and just did it on humans. Really, they was doing
And
that
put
shit.
it on us, put it right on us.
Yeah. And that they was trying to be you know, they was trying to be slick with it like, oh, it was a human experiment, but basically they did it to us. I'm like, that's grimy. And then
Yeah,
they
and they showed how that the project just went to shit. How they try to say, oh, a hood element into the projects and all that, and that's what caused it to break down and all that shit.
really
But
was set up to
they
fail from the beginning.
they already knew what the fuck was gonna happen from the rat experiment,
Yeah, no question, no question.
and I
That's
don't
real.
see how the everyday projects is any different. It's just on
Oh
a
no,
larger scale.
no doubt. So yeah, hmm. Yeah, no doubt. We're making progress though. Like I said, shit's getting done. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think people got to get back to more basic, fundamental types of ways of maintaining though all of this materialism. Even though like just simple shit like keeping the TV off. You know what I'm saying? Even putting these phones down, man. These phones can be real. You know what I'm saying? Just major distraction. You know what I'm saying? Unless you handling some serious business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the social media is basically a major distraction unless you're actually doing something. But at the same time, even if you're doing something which could be you know, detrimental to the status quo, at the same time you're trying to make a difference, but you basically it's a double-edged sword because you basically, you know what I'm saying, exposing yourself to the powers that be as well. So it's
I
almost a
think
double edged.
I think that was his true purpose.
You feel me?
I think
Exactly.
its true purpose was for them to gauge the minds of the people, so you know where the minds of the people is at, and create the algorithm so they can control and map the people.
No doubt. They could squash it before it start and shit. Or they
They,
could create a diversionary outlet instead of you handling the actual goal that you was gonna do. Get out in front of your shit and redirect that shit.
they had to give it a functional format so that the people would use it in mass. But they had to give it a functional format.
No question.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how it starts out with, oh, You can connect with your friends, the people you ain't meet, along you ain't seen years, and blah blah blah. So you think it is some fun, friendly shit. And then as time goes on, you start to see the permissions change, the rights change. You can't do this, you can't do that. Once they got you hooked and reel you in, everything you post up there is their property and all that bullshit now. You know what I'm saying?
No question. No question. Hmm. All right,
You
fam.
know
I'm over
that.
here. I'm about to fall back for the night. We got a nice little build in. I don't know where, but
Yeah,
he over there laid out. Little Ciroc got him up in the corner.
I was about to see if he was still out there.
Yeah. How your queen doing, man? Your queen in the seat. You go get your son? Yeah, he's still over there.
Now he's still there. Hopefully by the summer. I mean, his papers got approved. We just waiting for him to call him for his interview. And once he get his interview, he's coming home.
No doubt.
Like, you know what I'm saying, I know
Yeah.
she about to drop soon. So our
You got
brother be
another one on the
focused.
way?
Yeah, she about to drop in August.
You got a boy or girl?
Boy, another little dude coming in
That's
August.
what's up.
So
AAE. That's what's up,
but it
though.
is what
Congratulations.
it is, man. That's why brother be on his grind, you know what I'm saying? Getting ready for the another edition, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gonna have two little soldiers. That's gonna be just beautiful.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we have to put in that work, you know what I mean?
That's real deal, man. Respect on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to link up with check out what's his name school too. Um
Bomb.
yeah, trying to check that shit out.
Yeah.
Next
My
time I
little
go
one.
out there.
You hear me? One of my little ones up in there already.
Oh what that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. I'm I know I'm about to next week I'm signing up for his tree
Online.
class next week
Uh-huh.
because like I was talking to the queen and shit and I've been saying it but now I really gotta be about it. Like I really don't want English to be my little dude's here first language. I want it to be tree like everyone else in the family, you know what I mean? So I gotta get my tree game straight so I can speak tree to my little dude.
How long is the first course?
I don't even know. All I know I seen it was 95 beans, and I really didn't give a fuck what it was because you know what I'm saying I support the brother in his endeavors. So all right, 95 beans, I could pay that. I'm just gonna pay it and whatever and rock out. I really don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
$95?
Yeah, it was 95 beans for the online course.
Okay. How long is it? You don't
I think it
know?
was about 4 weeks. I mean, he has a couple of different joints. Like he has a more interactive joint,
Uh-huh.
but like I think like a buck and chains where you could build with him straight up on a one on one. I mean, I know what I'm saying in an interactive online course with him there, but he got a strictly joint with on your own time frame.
Yeah.
That's 95 beans. I don't know how many weeks it is though. I didn't even check.
No doubt. That's what's up. I might have to check on that myself. All right. All right, I'm about to make that move. I think he's about to jump
Yes.
up in there.
Yeah, I see. It's just gonna be just access what we still on to. We about to jump off.
No doubt. All right, I'm gonna be at you, fam. Peace to the
What the other
fam.
day with you, man? Stay
All
up
right,
there. Be before there.
baby Florida.